in live. If
Not seeing you yet.
All right, let's see here.
Got it.
All right. And hello, everybody. Welcome back. And thanks for joining us again for the second session of Goblin Stone. A brief pause to make sure we're sounding okay. Bri, any feedback? We're coming through sound-wise?
Oh, I haven't turned the sound on.
Okay, no problem.
Sounds good from what I can hear.
All right. One more time. Let's just to make sure everyone's coming through the mic all right.
Hello.
Everybody
Hello.
just say hey, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Greetings, everyone. How are you all doing today?
Fabulous.
Hello.
Hello.
Bri, you picking us up okay?
Yep, everybody's sounding good.
Heck yeah. Thank you so much for doing that, Bri.
Oh, I
Yeah.
got it.
No music though, but I mean that's
That's
the whole
coming.
thing.
That's coming.
Gotta send out the close homies that were live, the ones that really want to know.
Oh, nice. Okay. Thanks for doing that.
I posted another live of elsewhere. People are excited.
Yay. And I'm super excited too. Well, thanks for joining us again for the second session of Goblin Stone. I am DM Feanor. I've been running games and playing games and designing campaigns since I was 12, so over 30 years. And these are some of amazing players that I've met over the past few years doing it online. So this over here is Big Bri. If he might be hearing. Give a wave, Big Bri. Just below that is Nick Beat.
Hello.
Just over from him is Jay Fink.
Hello.
Following that is Darth Loquitur. And then right above him is Pon Pon. Now, last time we left off and our characters were in a precarious situation. It was such a beautiful day, a market day, early spring. People, coins, wares being sold of all different sorts, a bustling city shining on a hill. But it was smashed, a massive stone seeming to come out of a greasy cloud that descended from high up in the sky. A massive structure of stone, or perhaps a broken piece of a mountain, fell and crushed the city center. As a wave of dust and goblins overtook the city, the people in the market square are doing what they can to survive. Some have scattered indoors, some have dashed down alleys or headed south out of the city. But some few have stood up and decided to fight the goblins. The very loud and ever-present Baba Brune, the barkeep, what sounds like a few guards that may be left alive over to the eastern side of the square, and a number of, well, this moment's heroes, perhaps, have managed to, so far, survive the initial onslaught and are slowly coming together. Visibility is incredibly low, and of course, tensions are high. But those are the broad strokes. So, briefly, what stands out from you all from last session? How about you, Pon Pon? Anything stand out for you that's notable for last session?
Elena got rich. I mean, she was selling rat pelts. She sold her biggest and best rat, known as Charlie, quite large, very actually astoundingly large rat pelt for a cape. I think that was my favorite part. Oh, and let us not forget Bacon of Hope as opposed to Beacon of Hope.
let us never forget. How about you, DL? What do you recall from what stands out for you?
How suddenly it went from a lovely day to a not so lovely day. I think that was, well played. Like, a little bit of foreshadowing, and then bam, the stuff is in the fan. Let's go.
Bacon might be burning.
Do I see a goblin? Yes, they're everywhere. They're just everywhere.
But you can only see some of the very, very many. How about you, J Fink? Any standout moments?
Yeah. You know, Lokag getting drunk immediately as a massive Goliath only can do. And having to go in and help depoison him with kind of immediately so he could be the proficient fighter he's meant to be.
That was a good move, for sure. How about you, Nick? What stands out for you?
Oh, I just enjoyed the idea of being a range guy and suddenly being surrounded. So it was really like, oh, I can't see a damn thing from a distance. I'm used to like just waiting for the guy to like show up and shoot him from 100 feet. Like that's his deal. That's the bounty hunter way to do it. You don't come up and talk to the guy. And now he's surrounded. So it's kind of an option for him to, you know, be more melee and kind of handle things from there. So I'm enjoying that.
Heck yeah. How about you, Big Bry? Oh, you're muted, by the way, bud.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I have dogs, so I constantly mute just in case. You never know when
Appreciate
a
that.
car's going to drive by. So,
Yeah.
I am very excited that Lokag got drunk right away. It is a deep facet of his character. I was a little sad that he had to get sober immediately. Waste of alcohol and all. But jumping into rage, jumping into combat, this is where Lokag thrives. He's looking for that glorious death. So, you know, maybe he'll find it, maybe he won't.
Yeah, well, this arena certainly has more terrain features, you know, to deal with than most of the arena fights you've dealt with. But it's roughly the size of some of the
Definitely.
arenas you've been in. Actually, you know, with the sandstorm and all, it probably is bringing back some memories for Lokag.
Happy times.
So as we left off last session, right in the midst of combat, that is where we're going to start off this session. Bring us back over to the map area and get everything adjusted. And so, where we left off last session, as I mentioned, that the party was starting to sort of come together loosely in the same area. At the moment, X and Cliff are between the massive fountain and some of the merchants' wagons. Millie and Lokag, up in the thick of it, out in the dust among the tents and those kicked up sort of carpets and rugs that had previously had wares of some sort laid out for sale. And Helena has dived heroically under one of the carts, escaping the goblins. And they seem to be looking about the area for her, but at the moment had not found them. You all, again, through the dust, you all can see that there's another group of goblins coming in toward the fountain, perhaps drawn by the scuffle or the resistance you all are putting up. And I think we're going to start off. We're going to use the same initiative from last session. Try to keep those initiatives through combat. And so let me double check on the stream, making sure the map is looking good for our friends out there watching.
There we go.
All right. So top of the order is X.
Okay, I think that my vision is better than the goblins, so if I try to sneak around this way, is it possible that I could position myself where I can see them, they can't see me, I get advantage, or is that not possible?
Well, it's more about if you can beat their perception with your stealth check. You can hear,
Okay.
Yeah, you can hear this one scuffling. It's hard to tell what they're doing from where they're at.
Well, I can't make a stealth check as a bonus action yet, so
Yeah.
I don't want to use my full action to do it.
Then likely
So-
they'll hear you and be able to take their shot if they have
Okay.
one ready.
So I'll come around here, and I'm going to assume that I can see a goblin from where I'm at fighting with Lokag.
You can.
Okay, I'm going to shoot that the goblin.
Okay.
Use my manticore tattoo and fire that thing up and launch an arrow.
Okay. So let's see here. At that 15 feet, there's still a lot of dust in the air. So that range attack is going to be with disadvantage.
If I got closer, would it help, or
Yes.
no? How close would I have to be?
I think another 5 feet.
Okay. I would like to not have disadvantage.
Stepping up into that position, they're a little more clear. You can see, sort of outline of them shrinks down, and you get a better idea of where their vitals are, where their head and shoulders and chest is.
I will try to hit this one right here,
Okay.
and here we go. Roll. 16 to hit.
16 to hit is going to hit.
That would be 12 damage, sir.
You can feel free to describe or pass as you dispatch a goblin.
All right, the Manticore tattoo fires up. X puts the arrow on his wrist again and launches that thing out there, and then does something. Seems to, like, let's say, do an object interaction, and seems to, like, let's say, quote, put the tattoo away. So for just for clarity, this is actually just a short bow that I'm using. I've reflavored it with a different look in the game. Putting away my crossbow, putting away my short bow. Then, as a bonus action, can I like rifle through this charms and potion wagon again and see if there's anything that I missed? Just take a look.
The door is closed. It does not seem to be. It seems, trying the handle, it's definitely locked.
Okay, then I'll mention to Lokag that I have healing when he needs it, and my turn is over.
Okay.
Does he know what the 3 potions are that he got from it earlier?
Not exactly. There was a hint. I think someone checked inside to ask her if they had a particular type of potion. She looked at the window, and it apparently had been taken. And I believe it was, I think X had just taken stuff out of the back window.
Right.
Yep.
You'll
So
have to
we know
watch
that
it
one
in order
of
to
them
know.
is a healing potion, 2 are unidentified.
There you go.
Indeed. So there are frustrated grunts from the 2 goblins as one of their ally goes down. Not alarmed, not sad, frustrated. Next in the order is Cliff. Dust continues to swirl about you. Grit trying to sting your eyes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was my one goblin that I had flanking with, but I'm going to have to take it easy. I'm concerned. Maybe if I stop Goblin 1, it'll slow their movement a little bit, so they won't be able to come in that way. I feel like the right side is covered. I'm gonna do this. Cliff's gonna try to stay quiet. I don't know if that's he doesn't have any kind of bonus action, so. But I think he can move to here. And he wants to pick up a dagger. I think there was a dagger on the table. Came here. If I recall, from the woman. And I don't know if he can see the storekeeper. She was fighting some of those guys. I don't know if she's still there.
As you rush up behind, yes, her table is like sort of an L.
Yeah.
She has a club and a hand axe, and she's, just sort of swinging at one side or the other. One of them.
Can I flank her?
Yeah, you have to run around the outside.
Like, I don't see her on the map, but
Let me.
That would be my
Yeah, she's here.
there. Oh, here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then I might have to do a little bit of acrobatics, because I would go here to get flanking. And I'd have to go through the fountain and around the dragon and stuff. So I think I'm going to do that, because that would be even flanking and it would be fun. What do you think of that?
I think that works fine.
Okay,
Come
so
on,
I
yeah.
imagine I have some acrobatics check to be able to get there. Unless it's free. I don't know how the terrain is, or...
Well, let's see here.
I'll make a check. It's always
Yeah,
fun to make
acrobatics
a
check
roll.
for sure. Or athletics would be fine.
14. Oh, yeah. Or, yeah. 14 good enough?
Let's see here. Describe one more time. I was doing something in the
Oh,
background.
so
what-
he
what's your
sort of races around over the statue, like kind of using the statue and over the rock, and kind of swings around, blade in hand, and then goes to stab the goblin
Perfect.
with flanking with her.
Yeah, absolutely. You
All right, so he's going to stab. I believe it's he has a short sword. 16 hit?
It does. That does hit.
Awesome. It says 5 damage. I didn't roll advantage, but I'll fish for a crit. No. Okay, so it's just 5 damage. Now, I do actually have my own dagger, which I can do my bonus action, and I will do my offhand attack,
All right.
hoping that will help.
24 to
Oh!
hit. That is a hit.
Nice, almost a crit. Now ignore the plus, so that damage is actually only 1 damage, because I don't get the bonus because it's offhand. 6
Okay.
total damage. But at least she's not alone fighting these things. That's what's important.
As you know, surprise the goblin, stabbing out twice toward its ribs and back. It turns, hissing, sort of trying to crouch away, trying to guard its body from both of you with its bent and rusted scimitar.
And Cliff says, now you get out of here. You don't belong here, you understand?
Its brows beetle down and it hisses again through broken teeth. You don't think it understands.
He does speak Goblin, but he doesn't bother to speak it to them.
Nice.
It's not for them. They're not his audience. He just wants everyone to be cool.
Nice.
That's it for me.
All right, next in the order is Lokag.
Lokag is going to see the goblin beside him fall, hear about the potion, and all he is going to say as he raises his longsword to slash the goblin in front of him, "That one was mine!" And he's going to attack the live one in front of him. For a 12.
The one in the front, that is going to miss.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Gosh. All right.
Oh no, I'm sorry. That's a
that
hit.
is fine.
That is a hit.
Ah,
Oh,
These
okay.
goblins are
Excellent.
unarmored, and you've not seen any of these carrying a shield.
Damage time will be. Ooh, that's very nice. That will be 13 damage.
As you handily, you feel free to describe as you handily dispatch the goblin. Or pass.
He's just in the midst of saying that one was mine as his blade comes right down between the neck and the shoulder and just meets about almost to the sternum, and he yanks it out and kind of kicks the goblin back off his sword a little bit. And he's just going to look at the injured goblin behind that one and scream.
It gives a ragged scream back, but it does seems perhaps half-hearted.
Big old grin splits Lokag's face. And I don't think, nope, no bonus actions or anything, so that is going to be his turn.
All right. You all hear shop doors slam as townsfolk go inside and take cover. Next in the order is Millie.
Surveying around, do I see any weapons or equipment that can be used as a weapon?
Well, the goblins have their beaten scimitars, their rough short bows. Let's see here. So not in
I
the
move next.
immediate vicinity. Other, there might be some more back at this tent.
Yep. If I move next to Lokag to the right, is there a scimitar on the ground or on the corpse of this goblin?
There is.
Perfect. I'll move there, pick that up, and then turn to this goblin if acceptable.
You can definitely see it. You know, I described last session how it moved in and was trying to spot everybody. So yeah, you know exactly where it's at as you come around the other side of the tent. You can see it sort of crouching behind the table, perhaps, well, rifling through a corpse. It turns up, sneering at you, and raises its scimitar.
Oh, dare it. I'm going to attack it with my scimitar.
All right. Slashing at the goblin with one of its own people's weapons. Ruthless.
Only an 8.
The goblin sort of throws himself back a step or so, raising his scimitar up. You hear a high-pitched as it summons its fury. Still have the rest of your movement and any bonus action if you have one.
No bonus actions, so that is me.
All right. Next in the order is Helena, currently hiding beneath the cart as some goblins try to spy her out.
Oh yeah, that is right. So this one's really close, so I'm definitely sneaking. And I'm thinking I just want to stab him. I want to stab him right in the gut with my dagger.
All right. So double checking. Did we get a stealth check from you last session?
I didn't write that down, nor do I recall, but I have this.
Oh, let's see here. I do see one from your last actions is stealth. Okay. So yeah, you are still hidden.
Oh, is that the wrong one? Oh, maybe.
So you have advantage on
Yeah.
your attack. Just
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
So absolutely.
So, do I turn sneak attack on? Sometimes I see it on the sheet and sometimes I don't.
Supposed to know better. I don't know.
I don't think she has a sneak attack.
Oh, okay. Okay. Alright. $11 was the high.
All right, with an 11, it skips off of. 11. The goblin is moving about, and the dagger blade, the tip of the dagger misses as you sort of slash out toward the unarmored thigh of the goblin above you.
Oh, Helena.
We know their AC now.
Poor Helena. Wow. Just gonna stay under the frickin' cart.
Okay, you do have a little bit of cover underneath there from them, which is good because the goblins
Can you move?
going next. Say again.
Can she move without? Can Helena move without getting opped because it was like a surprise attack, or is they?
No, now
Were
that
the
she's
cover-
been
does the cover
seen,
prevent it?
now that she's out in the open and that stealth is broken, that would be
Does the cover help?
the cover would help with that, yeah. But she'd still
I tried to
those-
move away.
You'd still take 2 attacks of opportunity.
Yeah, you might.
Yeah. Nah,
I'll
we're not,
come and help. Yeah.
we're not risking it.
Just let me finish up these goblins, and I'll come over and help you.
We're just hanging to the top of the cart, basically.
All right, give me another moment here. Just some things in the background. you all continue to hear the screams of townsfolk, some defiant, some filled with terror. As the dust swirls, you see shapes moving. You can tell that you can hear armored guards over to the west and to the north. You can hear them shouting, coordinating. But you hear multiple shouts of pain from those guards to the north. There is a triumphant chorus of goblin voices shouting once again, "Meat for the masters!" And there's slapping of bare feet across stone, and you all are certain that there's another large wave coming. Again, you can see dusty outlines of what must be 2, 3, or 4 goblins struggling with a townsfolk on their shoulder and hustling off back north. The last of the northern guards sounds like they fell somewhere near the last of the tents to the north, pushed back far enough, and now offering no resistance. More goblins spread through the area. Everyone go ahead and make a perception check at disadvantage. The dust seems to be at its thickest now. The light of the sun is a thin memory far above. The air is filled with the smell of rock dust, of smoke, of sweat, and of blood. All right. X. You hear movement all across in almost like a horseshoe coming down and around the fountain. First one appears next to Cliff. The goblin that you had recently stabbed. It rushes in, its scimitar held high, but it just moves up, gets position, and is threatening. Its actions likely already spent, and likely in taking the guards down that you just heard fall to the north. The one that you had slashed out with the scimitar slashes back out at you, but the blade misses. You dodge easily. The two still engaged with the short merchant woman both slash at her. She gives a ragged sigh and falls to the ground.
No, there's my flanking buddy.
Oh.
So selfless. One of them shouts something in Goblin. Cliff, you can understand. "We've got one over here! Got one over here! They're running!" It swipes at you underneath you at a +2 on your AC for Helena. One of them slashes at you for a 15 to hit. The other one does the same, slashing out underneath at you for a 7, which of course easily misses.
Neither of them yet.
Neither. Excellent. So 2, rusty scimitars flicker through the dusty air, but both of them miss. One of them likely skips off of your armor or part of the carriage above.
So squirrely.
The wounded goblin to the north, just to the north of Lokag and X and Millie, slips away and vanishes into the dust.
Howard!
I'm checking those perception checks again. Helena's was pretty good too. So Helena, you can definitely hear 3 more, not necessarily coming towards you, but in your area.
Knowing that she's been found out, she kind of yells, 3 more incoming!
And X, you can hear a few moving around. It's hard to place them exactly, but you know there's at least 3, 4 if you count the one that just fled from Lokag's swinging blade. There seems to be no more resistance from guards at the north of the road. But to the east, you still hear some fighting. You hear a couple of the 2 guards shouting and apparently, maybe holding that that pass, that avenue into the square, holding off some goblins. But it's, again, hard to know. The air is full of dust and shouting, your own panting breath. Still to the south, you hear the barkeep, Baba Brune. More's plenty! Got plenty of room! And again, you all can hear the shouting, leering, and taunts of the goblins in the dust. Obviously to the south around Baba Brune, but anywhere where someone's being accosted, except for around you all. Well, Helena, perhaps, they seem to be a bit more talkative. But those who are nearest to Lokag, X, and Millie, and those next to Cliff seem to be a bit more focused or serious, perhaps. All right, so before we slip around to the into the next round, Darth Locator, what's X going to do this round?
Plan on sniping a goblin and trying to see what I can scavenge.
Okay. And how about Cliff? Cliff, you with us? You muted?
He is muted.
Oh, you're muted, yeah.
I hate when that happens. Sorry.
All right. No worries.
Cliff's gonna try to maybe hold the line, but he might just get out of there. If Helena goes, he's gonna go and maybe try to join the others, unless everyone comes to him and helps him fight these guys. Then he's gonna hang out.
Do we think this is a continue fight, or do we think this is a flee?
I don't know. It feels flee. At least get back together into a group or something. But right now, I'm out.
Yeah, Lokag's headed your way.
All right.
So, I was gonna try and get to Helena, but I think I am too far for that. So I was just gonna head to the next big batch of goblins.
Yeah, if you can help, that'd be great. I think we can handle it, the 2 of us.
Yep, I think they'll keep coming. So.
Yeah, but I'm okay with just running back. There is a hero fighting all of them heroically, so we could go hang out with him. It's probably safe and comforting and good authority figure.
How about Millie? What's Millie gonna do?
Probably try and attack this thing again with the scimitar.
Okay.
No, first time use of a scimitar ever. So.
Yeah. Different weight than you're used to, for sure. Okay. How about Helena?
She might be curious what the contents of this card are. She might have a pretty good idea about that, considering she's in this town square all the time. And if there's anything useful there for her, she can really mess up these goblins. She might go for that. If not, then she's gonna flee, because there are not enough rats for enough bites for all these guys. It's just one on this many. Nah, you gotta know when you're outnumbered.
For sure. Being underneath it, it's hard to search the cart, but you definitely saw some spices and foodstuffs and flour and stuff, many of which could be flammable under the right circumstances. You think you saw a trunk that might hold weapons or some sort of heavy tool. It wasn't marked, though.
Flour easily accessible.
Yeah, if easily accessible for sure. There are definitely goblins still threatening you in that area, but perhaps if you slipped out to the other side, you might be able to reach down and grab some.
Very well. Noted.
All right. So while the goblins are going to continue to surround the area, the townsfolk are going to continue to react. Some fighting back, some hiding, and some getting kidnapped. All right. So at the top of the order is X.
All right. Is this is Millie, right?
Millie.
Names are
Millie.
the names are
Millie,
kind of overlapping. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I currently have nothing equipped. I would like to have 2 weapons. Is it? Are we doing the old rules with 1 object interaction, or are we doing the newer rules where you can interact with a weapon when you want to use it?
Well, if you want to pick up 2 weapons and they're close enough, then yeah, you could pick them up as 1 action or 1 object interaction.
Okay, I got weapons. That's basically the 2 knives that we got earlier: the skinning knife and the other one.
Okay.
They're both daggers, I assume. Or is one like a short sword?
Yeah, no, they're both daggers. The goblins also have short swords. Or scimitars. You're pretty sure.
Okay. So, I'll do this. I'll come up here, and I'll take 2 swipes at this goblin with my knives. Knives out. We'll do the first one.
Sneering face of the goblin resolves out of the dust as you rush up to it. Its attention is mostly on Millie.
See if we can
the
get
map
some.
has moved far south on our screen.
Oh, let's see here.
Okay. So that's a 16 to hit for 13 damage.
That is gonna hit, and you can feel free to describe
Much better.
or pass.
Yep.
All right, so he takes his skinning knife out and he just runs it from just up from his tummy to his chin. Just opens the goblin up, uses the skinning knife for skinning, and let's see if I have enough movement to get to another goblin for my offhand attack. 30. Okay, can I stand on the fountain here?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, go wood elf go.
Yeah. X goes
So
dashing off into the dust, away from Lokag and Millie.
Right there. And then I'll attack with the offhand, and that's going to be pretty unimpressive, I think, but we'll give it a try here. Sneak attack damage off. Should be... Okay. Oh, the sneak attack didn't turn off.
That's all right.
14 to hit for 6.
14 is-
Nope. That's 3. That's 3 damage. No ability bonus.
Cliff had... Well, you didn't see it, but Cliff had already done a bit of damage. And so as you move up, you can feel free to describe or pass again as you dispatch another goblin.
He comes in with his other knife, and he hooks in under there, and takes a look at Cliff, and he goes, 4. I've done 4. That's my turn.
Next in the order is Cliff. Feel free to respond and act.
Well, this is a difficult situation. I think it's challenging. I think I'm just gonna go for a straight shot and wait for others to come. I do want to plug up this hole, so yeah, I'm just gonna attack. So he does his same deal as before. He'll hit him with the short sword, swing away.
That is a hit.
21, I believe. Hit, huh? 6. And then I'll back it up with the dagger. That's 10. Probably
The
misses.
second is going to miss.
And then I have an
But
option
with
to
that 6,
run.
you can feel free to describe or pass as you dispatch.
Ah, hell yeah.
The dust goblin.
Sweet. He does a double kind of slice, the dagger, he's gonna stab it again with the dagger, and he's like, oh, it's already dead. But he decides to use that last attack to just kind of shove the dagger into his dead body. I assume it can hit a dead person more easily,
Sure.
so it does it for fun, so it looks cool. And he kind of looks over at X, just kind of, it's all for show. The knife part doesn't even do anything, but he makes sure it looks cool. And that gives him an opportunity to get the hell out of there and help Helena. So I think he is going to move over
X
here.
gives him a little bow on the way out.
Nice.
He's going to take his chances here and flank with Helena, give her a chance, and kind of distract this goblin, maybe get them to attack me instead of them.
Okay, that'll be a +2 to hit.
Oh, I don't have any attack now.
Okay.
I use my attack, so
Right.
I will just flank and parry him.
Nice.
That's it.
Alright. Meanwhile, with Lokag and Millie, what's Lokag do?
Lokag is going to move up around the cart here to these other two goblins.
Mm-hmm.
And as he rounds the corner, he's just going to say, "Found you," and he's going to swipe with his longsword at one of the goblins.
As you pass, there is a goblin crouched way down. It looks like a huddled form. It springs up and slashes at you as you move past, but the blade misses.
And it misses. In that case, as it slashes as he passes, I think I'm gonna put Lokag right here,
Mm-hmm.
if that's okay.
Sure.
Just so that he can, as he's passing the goblin, it slashes and missed. He would change what he says. He wouldn't have said that. He would say, he would go, "Ha! You missed!" And then he would attack the goblin who tried to attack him.
Okay. You might have to step
For
back.
a crit.
Nice.
Nice
Feel
job.
free to- yeah. Go ahead and let's see that damage. Beautiful. Nat 20 for a total of 25.
All right. So he's going to do, holy God.
Nice.
He's going to do 16 damage to that goblin.
I think
He's
you know
just
what
gonna,
comes next.
A straight up cut in half. I mean, this goblin is just from the top of his head through down to between his legs and just splits him in two with the sword, and he falls in two pieces like that.
Beautiful.
Only thing I have to add is you would have had to walk back to him because that was an attack of opportunity from him.
Okay, got you. So is that here?
Yeah, because you had said you moved to here, and so when you moved out of this spot is
Yep.
when he actually attacked you. So yeah, whichever, you don't have, you could be
Okay.
wherever you want. You just would have had to turn back around and address him because he was swinging as you were leaving his range.
Got you. Then I'm gonna leave Lokag up one space.
Okay.
And yeah, he's gonna just as he drifted past and turn around and just missed me. Just
16. Nice. All right, next in the
a
order
lot of
is
damage for a level 1.
Yeah, it is.
That was brutal.
So, Millie, once more, alone, but that's not unfamiliar to Millie. How does she act? What does she do?
All right, having little luck with the scimitar, and that goblin being just stabbed and practically slaughtered right there. I think she's just kind of in a strange, stupefied state of like these people. She's heard of Lokag, kind of knows he's strong, but there's interesting individuals of strange talent about. Trying to still assist. She's gonna move up to that goblin and just try to attack it with the scimitar.
Nice. Dirty 20.
20.
That is a hit.
Dang. Rolling. You're
5.
rolling.
Goblin turns, whips its head towards you, spittle flying from its sneering mouth. The edge of your blade is wet about halfway up. You cut deep into the goblin, but the tough little thing is still standing.
Right, that's all I got.
Nice. Next in the order is Helena.
To flee or not to flee? Like a tiny flea-infested rat. Can I deal with 2 opportunity attacks? I don't really think I can afford to. So, rats bite, right, when they're cornered. Clearly, that's my only option. So that one that's directly in front of me, right to the north, we're going to take a stab at him.
Got a +2 to hit from that flanking bonus.
Excellent. All right. Ah, well, wait. Do I still have advantage because of
Not hiding anymore, but that's
You
going
got
to be a
me. You
hit.
got the +2.
So that,
But what about the? I was curious about the city secrets that I have.
check on that.
I think that's something different. It's not for
Yeah, I don't think it's for attack.
out of.
Oh, perception
Yeah,
checks.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, my bad.
But
But-
you get a +2 for the flanking.
Right, so that
Okay.
13 is going to hit.
Awesome.
Nice. I'm helping.
5 piercing. Make him bleed.
You can feel free to describe or pass as you dispatch one of the goblins.
Just utterly shell-shocked that not only did she stab it, but it fell over dead. Her hands sort of shake a little bit. She realizing she must have gotten a main artery in the leg as it's just profusely spraying everywhere. It gets on some of her face and in her hair, adding already to the beautiful array of pigmentation she's accumulated over who knows how long.
Her camouflage will be complete soon.
And that's all. That is what she can do.
All right, does Helena say anything?
I got one.
Nice.
Well done there, Helena.
Don't patronize me.
I thought you liked it when I bought your rat stuff.
Well, that was then. This is now.
I've been a patron for years now. Uh-oh. Goblin's
So
coming.
they scamper up. One slashes at Cliff.
Oh, don't think that hits.
I don't think so.
Oh, that hits exactly. Unless I get some... Yeah, that hits perfect. Ow.
5 slashing.
Ow.
The other one
Ugh!
swinging underneath.
Why didn't you tell me about that one?
Ooh. So as one swings underneath the carriage at Helena, rolling a natural 1. So Helena, you can go ahead and roll a d6 for the mishap table.
Oh,
Okay.
fun.
Time. Oh, I love this. This is one of my favorite things. All right, here we go. Something rotten. 3.
All right, give me just a moment. As the goblin swings its blade out, it hits the metal axle, and the blade snaps just above the handle. The goblin loses his weapon. It's broken.
Ah.
It immediately goes ah and throws the broken hilt up and sort of scampers back, sort of flailing its arms, and vanishes into the dust. You can hear its feet sort of padding off.
Does Helena get an op?
Yes, absolutely.
Up it up. I mean, you don't have to.
Attack of
She is.
opportunity.
Oh, she is very opportunistic. She is offended. She's offended, really, that he would have the nerve to run after this. Like, see to
So
your
rude.
fate, sir. See to your fate. So, do I just use dagger?
Yes, absolutely. So with a 9, that is going to miss. So it does manage to scamper away and uses its bonus action to hide off in the dust.
She hisses as she misses.
I love sibilance and... Is that alliteration? I always get that word wrong. To the north, two of the goblins one of them repositions himself, flanking Lokag. Another goblin sort of emerges out of the dust, also close to Lokag. One to the north swings its scimitar at Lokag with a savage grunt, wheezing.
Nice. That is.
Oh,
That's a what now? Sorry.
That's a. Oh, I was saying that's a hit.
The goblin manages to slash you across the hip for 2 points of damage. The archer nearby draws its bow and fires for an 18 to hit on Lokag.
Also a hit.
And then to the south, one turns and slashes at Millie for a 16 to hit.
Yep, 16 hits.
That was another 2 points of piercing to Lokag. I think you tracked that.
Yes, I did.
And that'd be 3 slashing to Millie.
Okay.
You hear Baba Brune continuing to shout. Ha ha! Is that the best you can? Oh! His voice is suddenly kind of cut off for a moment, but you can still hear the sounds of combat down there, so you don't think the old bartender's dead. But, something hurt. You hear a few more doors slamming. You hear some struggle in other places further south of the square as some of those goblins have slipped through the dust and begin attacking some of the townsfolk to the south.
where is the bartender? Is he the south?
Yeah, to the south, the bottom right of the map, so the southeast.
Right. Oh, I see him. I see him.
Oh my goodness. I didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Some background adjustments as things progress. We will continue. The sounds of the struggling townsfolk is fading off a bit, at least in the northern part of the square. It seems that all of any resistance or any prized targets for the goblins have already been dealt with as they move now and are sort of clustering around the wagons and the fountain itself. Again, you can still hear the dwarf and the old human woman, the guards, shouting over to the east. And you can hear more and more goblins over in that direction. I'll go ahead and ping on the map where you all can see from that direction to the south and southwest. And then, of course, Baba Brune is down to the southeast, and you can hear the continued struggles down there. So before we step into the next round, what's X going to do?
I'm going to encourage everybody to get back into the Beacon of Hope. And probably going to kill the goblin right in front of me and then see where it goes from there.
All right. How about Cliff?
Well, I'm concerned about the woman who's bleeding out. I don't know if we can, if it's a thing where you can save NPCs by healing them, or if that's not.
It
if
depends
they're just
on
dead
what
dead.
state they're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of tempted to maybe help, but I don't know what I can do. I'm also concerned about the guy to the south who's just taking them on by himself and maybe needs some help. I'm also wounded. So let's just say I'm kind of panicking.
All right. How about
That's what I'm
Locac?
going to do. I'm going to panic.
Depending on if the goblin between him and the Beacon of Hope gets dealt with, he's going to probably try and do something with the two goblins in front of them and then retreat back a little bit. Now, if the goblin doesn't get dealt with, he's thinking about trying to grab one of the goblins and throw them into another goblin and see if that works.
I think that's a wonderful
Nice.
plan. All right. How about Millie?
So, yeah, I guess depending upon this goblin's existence, which is probably not long for this world, they'll probably either move to assist Lokag if he keeps fighting those two, or head back down south towards the equipment.
Okay. And go ahead.
What's the status of the armor shop? So at some point in the intro, you said that this arms and armor shop was like the place to go for good stuff.
Yeah, it has some of the finest weapons and armor in the city. But you're
It's
all
locked
haven't-
up now.
Yeah, you're not sure. You haven't. No one's been over there for and checked specifically. Although,
Well, that,
yeah,
I don't
Millie
know if
did
that
hear the door
influences-
slam shut when you were moving south. So someone's alive in there. Let's see, we lose Pon Pon for a moment.
He's saucing up a brisket.
So Millie, I don't know if that might be something you want to do.
She's saucing up her brisket, so we'll just pass Pon Pon by for the moment. I think I could pretty well guess some of what she might do. Either move up and try and attack the goblin with Cliff, or move back in toward the fountain, cluster up with everybody. But she can tell us when she comes back. Alright, so back in the top of the order then is X.
All right, 5 foot to here, and knife that goblin.
Alright.
Knife plus goblin equals fun. I've heard.
Yeah, it just slashed out and cut on your friend Millie.
All right. Let's punish that insolent behavior. Activate some sneak attack here. And get that going.
8 is
8
gonna
to hit.
miss.
Okay. All right. Can sense where that needs to be better. So I'll do the offhand dagger, and if I do hit, I get the sneak attack, but not the +3. So 7 to
7
hit.
is gonna miss. Goblins are small, slippery, and amped from their so far, their conquest of your city. He's twitchy, fast, and pretty canny for a bestial-looking thing.
It wouldn't have helped here, but could you have stood over the shopkeeper and got the +2 flanking bonus?
Sure,
Could have, yeah.
definitely could have.
Wouldn't have made a difference here. Yeah.
True.
Nice save the spot for someone else, though. That's very thoughtful.
All right.
This will not do. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Next in the order then is Cliff.
So I'm probably just going to stab the guy, but if I don't know, passive observation. You said something about other goblins coming. Do I notice any more sounds of them? Like, are there another droves of them coming out of sight that I can hear?
Closest, you're certain that there's maybe 1 or 2 more to the north, but they've
Okay.
kind of gone silent, like they're hiding in the dust. and it's anybody's guess what they're doing. But down to the south west, where another road goes off from the square, that's usually there's guards flanking that road. There seem to be several goblins attacking those guards down there.
All right, good to know. Well, I'm going to stab this guy.
Okay.
While he's front and center, I think a 12 hits, if I recall. Seems unless he's special.
Let's see here. 12 is going to hit. That is their AC.
And that's 5. If that doesn't take him out, I will backhand him.
Feel free to describe or pass as you dispatch
Oh,
another goblin.
yeah. Nice. He just does a really quick cut. It's like there's only 2 seconds of it on the film of him just kind of running into the neck, and then it jumps to him moving over here, flanking with this goblin. And he's going to do his offhanded with the flanking and all that.
Nice.
With the dagger, with an 18.
An 18 hits.
Which does 3 damage.
All right. The goblin sort of jerks back, sort of arches his back, turns and tries to roll away from us as soon as you stab him. A high-pitched whining sound comes out of its lips.
Like that, see? And he looks at X.
X gives him a grudging nod.
Next in the order is Lokag.
Okay. So Lokag is going to. Here's what I want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I want to the goblin between me and Cliff. I want to grab that goblin and turn and throw him into the goblin flanking me. And it's just my attempt is to kind of get them all going in that direction.
All right. Does that be
I don't know if that will do
so
damage
you're trying
or
to
what.
grapple. So make an athletics check.
All right, I'm going to make that at advantage since I'm raging.
Now,
that will be...
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry,
Ooh.
go ahead.
Yeah, so, sort of grappling them, being strong enough, picking them up
Nice.
is going to be one check, one action / attack. And then, trying to do damage with him, I would say it would be a specific attack. But just trying to throw him through an area, I could say that would potentially all be part of it. Unfortunately, the goblin is very slippery, very fast.
Well, he has advantage.
Oh, 24? Awesome.
Yeah, do it.
The goblin almost gets out of your
Yep.
grasp,
Yeah.
but does not.
Nice.
Given your strength,
Excellent.
you're able to easily
Barbarians
pick
get a
the
barb.
goblin up and throw them.
Could he wield a goblin
All right.
as an offhand, as a light weapon?
So, I guess that's what I'm trying...
Definitely two-handed.
I guess that's what I'm trying to do is... take
Offhand
him,
goblin.
And I'm trying to literally just chuck him as hard as I can into the goblin that is right behind me. I want to know if I don't have enough action economy for that, that's fine.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to this round, but you can definitely hoist the goblin up. It'll still be able to slash
cool.
at you
So
during its
he's-
turn, but you can definitely do that.
Excellent. So he is grappled. That, and then grappling is my action. So if I have him grappled, then action, I don't really have any bonus actions. So, okay. So then, I'm going to that's my action. I'm going to prepare to chuck this goblin, whether he's a corpse or not at this point, into the goblin to the north.
You can drag him a square or two so he's not flanking you.
That's true, too.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I do want to, I want to start to turn so that he's he's just goes north 1 square.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Awesome.
So Lokag has just picked this goblin up. Is sort of holding it
One-handed,
its feet
by the
off
way.
the ground. Yeah, absolutely.
He's
Doesn't
got
have
his
any
long
gear,
sword
so-
in one hand, and he's got the goblin by the neck.
Well, now I know the reason why X
Slashing.
missed with both of his attacks. The goblin got picked up and moved.
Yeah. No, because I hit it after.
Don't worry, I will coordinate at some point. You know, that teamwork it'll slowly happen.
Yeah.
All
This
right,
is
yeah. So
glorious.
Lokag, you've hoisted this figure up, and now it cannot move. If either any of your allies wanted to try to hit it, it would not be able to evade them. And yeah, let's see here. All right. Does Lokag say anything? Any other movement or anything like that?
No, he doesn't say anything this round. He's just grinning really big because he had that idea. He's pulled this off in the arena once before, and it was a crowd pleaser. So it's one of his special moves.
There are a couple of targets around. All right.
Nice.
Next in the order is Millie.
All right. I see all the goblins around Lokeg.
Yes. Again, they're their outlines are blurry in the thick dust, but you know where they are. Yeah.
All right.
Oh no, you're within 10. So yeah, you can see their outlines enough to make a ranged attack. Diagonals still throw me off in 5e.
I'll just move up behind this one and try to slash at him with the scimitar.
Okay.
Only a 9.
And 9 is gonna miss. It manages to sort of duck down underneath your scything scimitar. Does Millie say anything? Got a bonus action as well?
I have no bonus actions. She curses under her breath, and then I'm gonna take off towards 10, 15. The armory, or the armor shop.
All right. So it's going to get an attack of opportunity, an unarmed attack.
Yep.
Because it does not have a dagger. All right, so we're just going to go. I'm going to use a scimitar as the roll. So 19, and it is going to do 1 bludgeoning damage to Millie. Because I believe a 19 will hit.
Definitely.
So it sort of cuffs you on the back of the shoulder. Its bony knuckles sort of dig it into your back. Stumble forward a bit, but okay. Let's see, as you move over to the armory, you you see the old, the aging fellow Mildred, sort of looking through there's thin panels of glass in the door, but there is also bars. He's sort of peering through the bars, kind of just looking through the dust. Likely, he spots you and his eyes widen. As you approach, he looks around and opens the door. If you have any movement left, you can you can step into the door.
My last 5 feet.
Quickly! He shuts the door, panting. Tuatha, what's happening out there? I've never expected anything like this.
There's a lot of those short things that goblins, I guess.
Goblins attacking?
It seems like it. I've never seen them before.
He kind of peers back out through the door, looking up at the clouds. It looks like the end of the world, says the old man. Next in the order is Helena. Only dead goblins immediately around you. You can hear some shouting to the southeast or southwest of you, and of course far to the southeast.
Looking the best place for me to flee or hide behind someone. These are some tough guys over here. I'd like to scurry out from this cart and behind the one where everyone else is at, but still hiding. If I can still get underneath that one.
Yes, you can. Yeah, any of these you can climb underneath.
Just so I'm closer to defense. Although, if I were here under the cart, could I stab that one in front of me? Like if I'm sneaking?
Let's see here. Yeah, this one's much lower, like pretty low. You basically have to be prone, so it's going to give you disadvantage on your attack rolls if you do that.
It's okay. We just got to get rid of these nasty, nasty infestation of unsightly creatures.
So this
Ah, oh man.
15 is going to hit.
Well, I don't know. I thought I was doing it for disadvantage. Play it
Oh,
honest.
you did slip underneath. Okay, so you did want to crawl up underneath.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In which case, that natural 1 is going to necessitate a d6 roll on the mishap. Do you want to roll that, or do you want me to?
I'll do it.
Okay.
Ah,
You did say you love those dice.
I do. 6. What is my mishappen fate?
All right. So you will get a -1 to attack and damage rolls until you take a short rest. As you get you climbing down there, you're at an awkward angle, using your muscles at an angle they're not really used to being used, and you pull something in your shoulder.
Ah, my spine.
Have any use for your bonus action?
Nope.
Right. So the sounds of goblin bare feet on sandy stone kind of fades locally around you. You can still hear perhaps some well, it's hard to tell. You can hear movement and footsteps, but nothing charging at you. You don't hear any of the goblins shouting, at least in this region. But again, to the southeast, you all once more hear it's just a constant barrage or an explosion of taunts and jibes and laughter from the goblins to the southeast, likely the ones attacking the barkeep. But then to the southwest, of course, the ones fighting the guards. The sounds of those guards are getting more furious. So whatever's happening with the guards, it sounds very. They sound like they're in bad shape, and if one of them hasn't fallen already, it sounds like one of them is about to fall, and the next one will be soon after that. Aside from Baba Brune and the guards, you're this cluster of people around the fountain are the only other ones fighting back against the goblins. There's less of them running to the north, carrying off, victims for whatever dark purposes these goblins have. So as you know, your attention may be pulled in different directions. A few goblins left around you, and you all have managed to handle them pretty well. You're not sure that others in the square are going to fare so well. So there's perhaps, your attention's being drawn to go help Baba Brune or the guards. But you all hear what is definitely the step of an armored soldier, perhaps a few north, as if coming back through the northern road that leads out of the square. You hear a brassy, almost broken sounding horn blare from north of you all. The figures are running as well. That's the reason you can kind of hear. It sounds like heavy plated armor. So it seems that a new threat perhaps is presenting itself. So the question is, will you all move to address the new threat? Move to aid some of your allies? Or do something else? But the nearby goblins continue to attack. The one that sort of clubbed at Millie turns, drawing one of its last arrows, and fires at Lokag.
Miss.
Nice. The goblin here, in between you and Helena. The one that you have hoisted up in the air. It's The veins are starting to stand out in its face where you're sort of holding onto its neck, but it slashes at you pretty fiercely, trying to chop down on the arm, holding it for an 18 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
Does 3 slashing damage.
3. All right.
It's
and so I
excruciating as the
take-
dulled, sort of chipped and notched, rusted blade rasps its way across your skin. Hurts a lot more than a sharper blade.
Very nice. And I take 2 damage since I'm raging, right?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. It's my first time playing a barbarian, so I want to make sure I have that all correct.
I appreciate that. The shouting of the goblins attacking the guards to the southwest becomes more furious, and you hear an explosion of exultant laughter and just, crude words in Goblin. It seems that at least one of the guards has fallen. You hear a winded and panting Baba Brune. Ah! Baba's got plenty for all! Sounds like he's losing steam. Before we step into the next round, let's check in and see what everybody is doing this turn. So how about X?
So the stompy armored threat seems to be coming from the north.
Mm-hmm. The main sort of gate, the road heading deep further uphill into the city.
I would advise that we fall back into the Beacon of Hope and wait for said armored threat. Or, go south and help and let him advance. I don't want to charge up to the north, is what I'm going to convey as X's plan. Not to go further north.
All right. Seems wise. And Cliff, how about you?
I'd say Cliff is pretty in sync with that. I'd like to save this woman. I consider her a party member. Effectively, she's helping out too. Is it possible a healing potion will save her? I don't know if I need a medicine check to kind of know that passively, or...
Yeah, it'd be a medicine check.
All right. Is that an action, or is it just kind of a passive thing?
Yeah, we would call it a bonus action.
Okay.
I would allow it to be a bonus action. Just reaching down really quickly.
But so yeah, he'd be wanting to know if she can live or not and try to save her. If not, then he might go south and see what's up with Keg.
Okay.
Baba and his Keg knife.
All right. How about Lokag?
So Lokag is going to continue with his throwing action, and he's going to throw this goblin into the one at the north. The hope here is that it does some damage and puts both of them prone. That's what I'm hoping to get out of this. If not, that's okay. It's what it is. But yeah, either way, I'm just trying to, I don't know if it's a disadvantage or no opportunity attack, but I'm trying to make retreating easier for him.
Okay.
Is kind of the long-term goal there.
For Lokag.
Yeah, he wants
Okay,
to retreat back into the Beacon of Hope.
Smart. Okay. Then how about Millie?
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna beg this individual for armor.
Okay. Not a bad plan. And how about Helena?
Probably some hissing, some scratching from underneath the cart, maybe a little stabbing and fleeing. That's the game plan. Everyone runs, she's definitely running with them because they're taking out these goblins left and right.
Well, you definitely got one of them, and been some support. Millie's not been useless. That's for sure. All right. Let's see here. All right, so then the top of the order is X.
All right. So, I don't really want to kill the goblin that that he's holding. Doesn't seem like a good idea. Just gonna let him do his thing with that. Where is the crazy rat lady at the? Oh, Helena's right up here beside us. Okay.
Well, you saw her slip underneath the wagon. So it's like a very low to the ground cart with sort of smaller wheels, much more of a cart than a wagon. And she's dashed up underneath it, slipped almost down in her belly to slash at the nearby goblin.
That part where I said I didn't want to go north, it's still true, but... okay, so here's what I'm going to do.
Okay, what are you going to
I'm
do?
like in a cart full of weapons. So I'm going to take the daggers that I have, and I'm just going to start throwing them at this goblin here.
Nice.
If I kill it, then Lokag can hit the other goblin, I guess.
All right,
So
so that's 15, so
goblin.
that's going to be at disadvantage. Due to the visibility of the dust, you know?
oh,
If you
okay,
do
okay.
counter him, you won't.
But yeah, you could
We'll-
vault the
we'll get-
counter and do the same thing from there. Yeah.
I can go here, right?
Mhm.
Okay, that's within 10 feet.
Yeah, you just vault
And that
over
would
the
be-
table.
That would be a normal attack.
Mhm.
Okay. So let's try it.
Okay.
Nine to hit.
9 is going to miss. So you pluck up one dagger off the table, huck it at her.
Try a second. 18 to hit for 7 damage.
18 is going to hit. And that is this goblin here.
Yep.
You can feel free to describe or pass.
I yell, this one is gone. I just like the dagger between its eyes.
Is that 5 now?
Yeah. Is this, if I leave, is this goblin getting an attack of opportunity?
Yes, because
How
it's
high
only
up in the air is it?
yeah, not that high. So yeah, it would get an attack
okay,
of opportunity on you.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Grab some more daggers off the table if I can on the way by, and off we go.
An 8
Oh, right.
is going to easily miss X.
More whiny.
It's like, Lokag is holding it up, and it sort of swings out at the side, trying to hit you as you dash away. Defiant to the end.
X will say, "There is hope here," and he points, at the area of the spell, and that's his turn.
All right.
I'd like to try reaction before my turn to grab the healing potion from X. I don't know if I can do as a reaction, quickly grab it.
Depends on where X put it. Where'd you
Where'd
put all
you
those
put it?
potions when you grabbed them?
I had to stow it, but if I know he wants it, I'll hand it off to him. I mean, I have no problem giving the healing potion to him.
Is that cool? Maybe if I want to roll, if you need me to roll, I can roll. But if it's cooperative, then I'll take it. I'll try to save this woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll baton toss it.
All right, cool. Yeah, he kind of hollers. He's like, "Hey, throw me a heal!" And then you can kind of quick toss it, and he grabs it, and he's gonna heal this woman. I rolled a 9, so I don't know if he's gonna know. She could be dead for all I know, but
Okay. Yeah, you can't tell. But as you pour the healing
it feels like
potion
the right
over,
thing to do.
say again.
It feels like the right thing to do, so he's gonna try to heal her. Pour it in her mouth.
Well, as you splash, as you pour it across her mouth, she's got wounds on her neck and shoulders. You sort of just pour it out on her wounds and over her mouth. She sort of sputters and her eyes open. You can see the wounds. Well, let's see here. Yeah, the wounds don't necessarily close. She's still got some deep gashes in her, but her eyes sort of open, and she goes, "Oh!" She looks up, or she makes eye contact, and then her eyes quickly darting around. She starts to make as if getting to her feet again.
Yeah, you're safe for now, but we need to get out of here. I'm gonna head south, and I'll take her with me, if we can. I don't know if she can walk, but she can also just follow. But narratively, he's gonna lead her south through around the fountain and to the south with my.
Before as she starts to roll over, as soon, getting up on her turn, but her hands automatically reach over for her hand axe. So we'll see if she follows you.
All right, that's it for me.
As you're slipping away, you hear her say, "Thank you, thank you." All right, next.
Thank you for these fine weapons.
You'll owe me, she says. Next in the order is Lokag.
Okay. Lokag is going to. So, are the goblins still chanting "meat for the master"?
You can hear that still, like coming from up the hill, like toward the Goblin Stone itself. But you're not hearing it from the city anymore, as if the goblins are all too intent on their business.
So I think just because it's funny, Lokag is still going to. So he wants to throw the goblin at this one from 10 feet away. So he's going to chuck this goblin into this one from where he's at.
All right. That's an, call that another athletics check.
Okay. Also at advantage here.
Mm-hmm.
And then crit. So do you want me to roll an unarmored strike to see if I hit him with the other goblin?
No, I'm fine with using the athletics check.
Okay.
So the one that you're holding kind of gets a strength save to try to cling onto you and not be thrown. It fails. Just your sheer strength, you pull its grasping fingers out of your garb and throw it. The other fails its dexterity saving throw. One slams into the other, and they both tumble to the ground. Roll a d6 for damage. We'll split it amongst them.
Excellent.
Nice, not bad.
All right, cool.
One of them grunts. The other one, you hear the cracking of bone. And it is still, does not get up.
Okay. And then, so I don't know if prone means they don't get an opportunity attack, but actually, if he's 10 feet away from me. So, but as Lokag throws the other goblin, he screams, "I don't want to meet your master!" And kind of misunderstanding meat for the master there a little. He's gonna move. He's gonna start moving towards where he saw Millie run off to, and tell her that people are coming and to retreat back. I don't know if he can see her, but he says, "Where did Smelly Girl go?" And he's gonna start looking around. I'm assuming maybe the shop door is closed at this point and she's in there.
Yeah.
All right, so he's gonna. I think he knows this square well enough to know that that's arms and armor, so that's going to be the first place he's going to check, but he doesn't have the movement to get there this turn. So that is where I will end my turn.
Okay. As you move into the space, moving in that direction, looking for Millie, you hear the door open and slam shut, seconds before you kind of comes into view. Unfortunately, also nearby, there is a goblin skulking about. It slashes out at you with its scimitar. Its form is already is covered in like crusted blood and masonry dust, as if it's already seen quite a bit of action. It slashes into you for 4. The blade sort of biting into your ribs.
I'm going to use my second Stone's Endurance to reduce that damage.
Nice. Okay. So you only take 2.
Oh,
nice.
Well, I
Nothing.
roll a
There you go.
d12, so I'll. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Ooh. What was that? Thanks for the follow, Zane. Alright.
Some.
Alright, anything else for Lokag?
No, I'm happy with that turn.
Awesome.
Yeah, you are.
I killed a goblin with a goblin. I'm so happy.
So next in the order is Millie. Mildred, he's got steel gray hair. It's pulled back in a tight bun. He's got a white sort of cotton shirt on, black bands together at the arms, black slacks, high boots. Every bit the fine merchant. His hands sort of pressed together, as if he's halfway between panicking and asking if he needs to take your measurements for something. He's sort of leaning over, looking at you, looking out the door.
Mildred, if this is the end of the world, then I need whatever you can spare.
He looks out the door again, looks at you, looks out the door. Right, we could just take what you need. Come back and we'll put it in the books, and you can pay me back if we survive all of this. Does that sound agreeable to you?
Sure.
It's been a long time since I've seen you in my shop. It's a terrible circumstance. Please. And as he points out to the shop, you can see on the left there are sort of angled bins that have almost like a little half drawer so you can reach up into them. There are chainmail shirts, suits of chainmail, leather and studded leather armor and such. There is a large, I guess, sort of aisle that has well, none of the weapons are out front really, except in the front window. It's mostly arms and equipment, harnesses, scabbards and pouches and stuff like that. But there are, arrayed against the wall, several shields. And then behind the counter, there's a large stand that has several large weapons in it. A great hammer, a two-handed sword, there's a lance hanging up across the ceiling. Spears and that sort of thing too, but there's also racks that have rapiers and long swords and short swords and all that sort of thing. So, what does Millie go toward?
Knowing how, well, not really knowing, assuming massive armor takes a long time to put on.
It does, yeah.
And a chain shirt can just be kind of thrown over what she's wearing already.
I would say so, yeah.
Even though probably uncomfortably. She'll
Definitely.
just grab a chain shirt and a shield.
Okay. So yeah, that would probably take, I think, sounds like that would take your actions for the round. I mean, yeah, you
Sounds
throwing
good
the
to me.
chain shirt on and then grabbing the shield or
Yep.
strapping it on. You could probably also pick up a weapon if you wanted to.
Oh, grab another sword. Why not? Long sword.
You can see him almost making a note in his head, nodding. He keeps looking nervously toward the door. He's at the door, but he keeps looking back out the window. Looks like he's ready to let you out. You're gonna go back, but as you sort of get, you grab your gear and put it on. His brows sort of beetle down as if he's thinking, is she really gonna go back out there? So next in the order is Helena. Alone again. But no
She,
live goblins.
She slowly crawls out from the the narrow gap from under the cart, covered in dust, but who can tell? And looks about for all these quite astounding and brave fighters, and kind of looks to who looks the toughest. Who can she kind of scurry behind and follow?
Everybody's dashed off, but Lokag is massive. He's over 6 foot tall, of muscle and fury.
Goblins are just flying away from him like a whirlwind.
It's definitely gonna make her way over to Lokag then.
Okay. The shopkeeper's kind of pulling herself to her feet.
Helena does not care or look back.
She looks at you, as she's pulling herself to her feet with that look that comes right before people tell you to get out of your shop or get away from your booth.
Survival of the fittest.
So as you move up to Lokag, you can see that he is fighting another goblin.
Okay, so wanting to be of assistance and show that she's worth protecting, she's gonna run up to the side here and stab this guy with her -1. Let's see. That was a 10, so probably not.
All right. Yeah, that 10 is gonna miss. The goblin manages. Yeah, goblin manages
She's
to
trying
bear
to prove she's worth protecting, and she's clearly pitiful. So.
Goblin kind of stumbles back against the. There's like a narrow crack where the two buildings meet. It's like the goblin's trying to push himself into that crack. Manages to barely dodge the tip of your dagger. Does Helena say anything?
Just fake him out for ya. Looks to Lokag desperately for approval.
Scurrying and slapping of bare feet on the stone. And two more goblins resolve out of the dust, one to the north of Helena and one just to the other side of Lokag. Both have a flanking position. Both slash with scimitars. 2 slashes at Lokag and 1 at Helena. As I believe both those strikes miss Lokag. The dagger of the goblin scimitar does cut through the rags that Helena wears for 2 slashing damage, adding to the map of scars likely across her skin.
Add cuts from rat's nails deeper than this flesh wound, goblin.
You can hear another one. Well, actually, no. Just a moment. Start doing some stuff in the background. You all hear another exultant cry from the goblins on the western side of the square, the ones fighting the guards. The only thing that you all can think from that is that both of the armored city watch have been dispatched by the goblins. Baba Brune continues to shout to the south. Skinny little arms! Your rusty little blades! Pah! He still sounds sort of hurt and ragged. Not too much worse than he did last time you heard him shout. All right. As you all sort of move over to the eastern side of the square, Millie gets some gear. A new cluster of goblins comes in and attacks Lokag and Helena. I think this is a good spot to give our players and our GM a short break. So yeah, we're going to take a short break. If anybody... do you all want to do maybe like a rotation so there's always somebody here and we can maybe respond to chat and stuff like that? That anybody want to volunteer to go last?
I'll take first 5 minutes.
Okay. Well, I will be back for the second half then.
Sounds good.
I can be here the whole time.
Excellent. Yeah, whoever wants to. I just know a couple of us need to get some water and stretch our legs, and I'll be back in a few.
Cool.
Cool. So, Brian, if you want to fill the time, man, tell us Tell us about the inspiration for your character. What's the history of Lokag?
So, you know what? Lokag was the first character I ever built in D&D, and it was for my first ever like D&D session amongst friends, and I got to play him for 2 sessions because I missed one, and then as some D&D groups do, you know, it just falls apart and you never play again. Schedules, adulting is hard. So I came up with Lokag because I knew I wanted to play a martial. I like playing martial characters. And I knew I wanted to play Lokag because I was reading Brandon Sanderson's The Way of Kings at the time, and I loved the character Rock. And he's like a big dude from like this clan called the Horn Eaters. They live in the mountains and they're just massive people, but they're very I mean, I love the culture that they had in the book, which was very like Polynesian influenced, which I thought was really cool. I was like, oh, that's neat. You know, you usually think of like the ocean when you think of a Polynesian culture, not the tops of mountains. And I saw, you know, watched 100 videos on D&D stuff, and I knew I wanted to play a barbarian and a Goliath for my first character. And so it's been, honestly, these past 2 sessions have been really fulfilling to play Lokag. Just be able to get him out there and get him fighting and play a little bit more with him. What about
Cool. So it's your intention then to go all barbarian, or are you gonna multi-class with this guy? What are you thinking? What's the plan?
I want to go minimum first 5 levels barbarian. I want to get to extra attack as quickly as possible. You know, if we're playing this particular campaign only to 6th level, I guess that's my plan. But long term, I want to start incorporating a fighter class to get battle master maneuvers. I have loved battle master maneuvers from the second I read them in the player's handbook.
Have you ever looked at Monk combined with Barbarian?
I have looked at Monk, and that's
There's
also
some
very
pretty-
tempting.
Yeah, the grapple stuff that you can do is just really so cool.
You know, if Grappler was one of the feats we were allowed to take at first level, I would have taken Grappler, absolutely. Hands down.
Yeah. For people watching, so for anybody watching who might not, well, nobody, we've not published like the character creation rules, but basically because variant human and custom lineage are so powerful in races by giving the starting feat, DM basically said those races are banned. So I'll make you all a deal. As long as nobody plays those races, I'm willing to let you all have one of the starting feats, like from the Unearthed Arcana stuff for the level 0 feats. So he's like, anybody can have one of those feats as long as nobody plays variant human or custom lineage. So that's what he's talking about with the level 1 feat.
Yes, you are. Some stinky business, Cuban man.
Yep.
How you such stinky business?
But I've got what about X? What you've always been kind of a I feel like every time we've played D&D, you want to be the fill-in guy, because I feel like you enjoy playing all types of classes and races and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, I'm a big math guy. I love engineering, math, optimization, all that stuff. So I have these ideas of like what a party should have, and I love letting everybody else pick what they're going to play, and then just trying to make a character that's fun to role play, but kind of like the peanut butter that can hold all the stuff together. So I wanted to be a rogue to help scout. In the new rules in D&D, I like, and you know, DM and I have talked, and in the new rules, you have to have the skill to be able to help. So like, if anybody's going to pick locks, and I want to, you know, be a cleric and provide guidance, I need to have the thieves tools ability to even provide guidance for somebody using thieves tools, for
Is that
example.
a Pathfinder?
What's that?
Is that Pathfinder or what system?
In the Unearthed Arcana rules, to provide the help
Pathfinder
action
does that.
or so it's kind of this idea, like if you want to help somebody pick a lock, you need to know how to pick a lock, right? So and then the idea of concentration, like if you play a caster, you have to pay the concentration tax. So this character is an idea that I've had rattling around for a long time, where you take 2 levels of rogue, and instead of like getting Constitution and Constitution saving throws and a Warcaster for advantage on concentration checks and all that stuff, instead my intention is to go levels of Cleric, 2 levels of Rogue, and I'm going to cast Bless, and I'm just going to hide. I'm going to be nowhere to be found, in theory, and a lot less concentration checks if you're somewhere in the back ranks hidden. With the cutting action with Rogue, you get with Wood Elf, I can move like a ridiculous amount of territory across the battlefield when I need to, if I need to get to somebody to heal, for example. So it's kind of like a less good cleric, but it takes 2 levels of Rogue just for massive utility, and then in combat, it's literally going to be, I'm going to Bless and Healing Word and have the Rogue sneak attack and the ability to do good damage, so that turn after turn I could just do basic attacks and contribute to the party, and then just kind of hang out. And you always need somebody to pull the lever, right? Like you get into a combat and you need to drop the cage on this guy and pull this lever, and you need a character to do that.
You're utility. You're like a full-on Swiss Army knife of things you can do.
Yeah. So it's going to be Rogue and Cleric, and it's just going to be like support for all the other characters. I'll cast Bless on people because it's the most broken thing in the game, and then just run around doing X stuff.
I have a Rogue Wizard that has the arcade trickster deal. So I had this idea for him to shrink and then hide in someone's backpack, because with reduced person he'd be less than 10 pounds. You can just put him in your backpack, and then you can just like mage hand, like rob people and cast spells and just hide the whole time just in someone's pack so they don't even see him. He's just a little utility, kind of rides around Master Blaster style.
Yeah, that's nonsense, right?
Sure.
And you can grab punches with a hand.
Sweet Boots in the chat labeled you a ninja healer. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like that. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna go grab some water.
It's my attempt to avoid paying the concentration tax in a different way, and just mechanically in the game see if it works out.
Yeah, at least Rogue, for the most part, is one of those classes where you're not beholden to, if I go high in one of the 3 spellcasting abilities, the others tend to be lower, or you have to manage multiple DCs, so.
Yeah, with wisdom being high with a rogue, I mean, you get good perception checks, you get insight, so...
well, there's that one rogue sub class, right?
Yep.
Where you get the insight to get advantage.
Yeah.
Intrigue.
And I'm going to do Death Cleric. And Death Cleric gets that ability that if 2 things are close together, you can double up on your cantrips. Yeah, so you can actually hide and then cast Chill Touch and get advantage on Chill Touch on both targets. And so it's a little gimmick where I should be able to do good damage. And if we continue to play the campaign, then once Millie gets the aura and I get level 7, I'll be able to do Spirit Guardians and then just kind of run into the middle of everything. So, the character will evolve as we go along, if we get that far.
There we go.
I'm back.
Oh no, you guys, we can't tell them what we've been talking about.
Uh-oh.
All the plans.
Let's reveal our ultimate plans.
I have to go back
Our
and
many-
watch the
Many plans.
Trust me, no matter what our plans are, DM has something in his pocket. It's just fine.
And similarly, it doesn't really matter what the GM's plans are, because you guys are going to mess them up.
Plans.
Shut it down, burn
We
the
don't need no
files.
stinking plans.
Well, the goblins definitely
Somebody
have
posted
plans.
this funny thing in my Discord that said, the DM says, there's a castle on the hill behind the town. It looks very inviting, and the players respond, "We'll check out the forest." So they go into the forest, and it's like, from the forest you can see the castle on the hill. It looks very inviting, and they're like, "Let's go to the beach." Just like every time the GM says about the castle, they just say something else.
Man, I am so lucky as far as that goes. I have the best players who are just like, oh, that sounds awesome, let's do it. Okay. I have to even be
Bite
careful
the
if I...
pot hook, right? If you got
Yeah.
a pot hook, go ahead and bite. It's okay.
Yeah, that's what we're here for, right?
DM, we got some shout outs in chat, just so you know.
All right, coming over. Bum.
Scariest monster encounter. Oh my gosh. Okay, so the one that gave me the most chills was this ancient vampire who owned this mansion named Lady Ionorith. And she turned into mist and oh, she's just so perfectly evil and gorgeous and pointy. That for me was the scariest. Yeah. I don't know. There's probably been more threatening circumstances, but she just creeps me out. That and the guy in my party, the wizard named Maxon, I think he's really creepy too.
I am back.
Welcome back. Try to catch up with chat.
Nice. I'll actually be right back. I filled my water cup and then left it by the sink.
No problem.
The scariest
no.
monster, I still have nightmares about, very early on in my playing of D&D, we fought an Otyug, and the circumstances of that fight, it was in its natural terrain, buried in a sea of garbagey stuff, and it was so hopeless. This thing was just grabbing everybody and dragging them under the water and drowning them, and it was so terrifying. I remember that fight, and Otyugs aren't that bad of a monster, but just the way it played out, it was oh my god, that was terrifying. As a new player and kind of not realizing it was going to be okay, it felt like the game was over.
Is that how you spell it, Abacus? Because I need to see what the heck this creature is. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, that's the right spelling.
Okay, how do you say that? Is it Atya?
Otyug.
Atyug? Weird. Alright, let's see what this is.
For me,
The
Oh.
monster beast from Star Wars.
Oh my
The
god.
compactor creature.
Holy crap. Yeah, I don't like
Now
it.
imagine that thing entirely submerged in sewer water where you can't see the creature at all. It's
Oh,
just reaching out with those big nasty arms and dragging people under the water.
Gross. Gross.
Every time I encounter one of those, it just takes me to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is that creature.
Well, it sounds like the perfect time for us. What's that? Sorry.
The one of those that killed my dog in a game. It
Oh
made me very
no.
sad.
That is very sad.
It was just a mastiff. They don't have a lot of hit points, so it just ripped him apart. It's sad, but he didn't get me. So, sacrifice,
Yeah.
That's the troubles with pets in D&D. What are we thinking?
No, it's really,
Oh.
possible.
Let me have something that I like that the GM can target because it's not my items.
Amethyst dragon. No.
That's why you
This 2
put your
HP
familiar
creature
in a
shall
pouch.
survive.
Keep your familiar in a pouch, so it's an item.
Into the handy haversack you go.
You are
You're
safe.
immune to fireballs now.
Yeah, all right. So it looks like we are all back together. Everybody feeling settled and ready to jump back into it?
Yeah.
I am feeling refreshed after my session, or after my little break. Got some water and some more tea. Yes. All right. Get back over here to the map. Okay. So getting back into it here, at the top of the order, or X, what are you going to do on this round?
I think I'm gonna go try to help Ba out. See if we can keep him from getting killed. He seems to be a stalwart protector of the realm.
All right. How about you, Cliff?
I have a similar intent. I may even, if I see, I think if I see anything beyond a goblin, I might whip out that pistol. And then I'm hoping you didn't move the villager on last round, but hopefully she'll either come my way or join my friends, or maybe she's just going to stay in her booth. But I know there's danger coming from the north, so I think he's going to work with X to help Papa.
Yeah, I did neglected to move her token. So she would have followed up with you. She looks like she has a bundle of merchandise under her arm, wrapped up.
Excellent. Good.
Perhaps a cash box or something. She is just covered in her blood, goblin blood, some of y'all's blood as you kind of were fighting over her, and dust. There's just a layer of dust caking it. If she wasn't moving, she'd probably look like a statue. Splattered with paint. Alright, so how about Lokag?
Lokag is going to he's just gonna attack some goblins here.
Yeah. Seems fair.
Trying to clear the way. He came over here to support Millie, and or as he has dubbed her, Smelly Girl, and he's coming to support her, coming basically so the party doesn't get too split.
Mm-hmm. All right. How about Millie?
Well, I suppose helping out those right outside the shop, and then heading. I was also thinking of heading down to the barkeeper, the tavern keeper, and helping out.
All right.
Yep.
Heck yeah. How about Helena? Or Helena, sorry.
No, I like Helena. It's got hell in it.
That's true.
Give him hell.
They both do. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, take your pick.
Well, I just like the way it sounds. I like that better. Helena. Yes. So, let's see. We're not in the turn order. We're just kind of talking about our general. Okay. Well, I'm kind of surrounded, so good old stabby and frantic. Just get out of this situation, and hopefully Lokag and Mealy will take care of it.
Nice. Yes. I don't know if that'd be optimism from her or, opportunism from Helena.
The latter. The latter.
Awesome. All right. Well, stopping in then at the top of the order is X.
Dude, that's further than I thought. Okay. We'll take a slight detour. We'll come up 10 feet here, and we'll take a couple slashes at this goblin and try to make it easier for our party as our first thing we do.
Okay.
$19 for 7.
That is a hit. And you can feel free to describe or pass as you dispatch another goblin.
Okay, X just does a drive-by. Like he just runs up there, stabs that goblin, and then just takes off running south again.
It turns as if to stab you with, an opportunity attack, but it's clearly its brain didn't know it was already dead. It continues spinning and drops into the dust.
Okay, and then I think that's it. I can't use my bonus action for anything useful, or I suppose I could just drink a random potion and see if it helps.
You can.
Nah, we'll skip it.
Okay.
No. I'll just listen. I'll see if I can hear if I can like locate somewhere where the armored guy is to the north.
Okay. You can make a perception check as a bonus action.
Wah, 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 wah. 8.
Just the shouting to the southeast, around Baba Brun. There could be shapes moving in the dust. It's hard to say. It's starting to thin out, but there will be like these sort of billows of thicker dust, and some of them have sort of maybe darker centers, and there might be figures moving. It's hard to tell, but there's certainly some down around the meadery.
That makes 7 down.
Next in the order is Cliff. You hear X from across the tent say that was 7 down.
He shrugs. Goes, God damn it! I give up. I can never win. He kind of looks at her like, "You're gonna be okay," and figures she can handle herself. He's gonna try to head towards Baba. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. He could get this far. I don't know if there's anything interesting in the gear that's worth grabbing, but that would be a move action. I don't know what he can see from there.
So mostly what you see, harnesses, baldricks, sword belts, different sort of what they call like weapon frogs, and different things to attach stuff to a belt.
Okay.
There's like captains, or no, I'm sorry, city guards clothing, but it's just like really fine version.
I'm good to know, but I won't bother with that. I'll just see if I can help Baba. I don't know if there's anyone harrying it at the moment.
Okay, give me just a moment to reveal.
What I see.
Yes.
And if I see it before I actually get that far, then I might not move so fast, but if I can engage and flank, that'd be great. Oh. Ah, yes. All right. I can flank. I will attack this guy. Goblin, the one that I'm flanking with. Awesome. So I think I get, don't get advantage, but I get the +2. 25! I crit! Yes.
Nice.
Oh, that's not crit damage. It says crit. Is that a crit? A crit only did 6? No, it didn't do the crit part, so I do it for crits. I just do it again, right? Another d6.
Another D6, yep.
Yeah. Ignore the second part, so it's 4.
Total
6
of
is 10.
10. Again, feel free to describe or pass.
Oh yeah, he just dispatches him and then like kicks him down onto the ground, and stands there. You need a little help, pal?
Cliff!
And he does have the dagger, and he does have his bonus action, so he's going to take the dagger and he's going to chuck it too. At, let's say, the goblin to the right. So he'll do an offhand toss of the dagger. Yeah. Which is a 19, which is pretty good.
Nice, that's a hit. He says between swings of his big sort of keg knife, "Here's a man entertaining his patrons, and you come and start killing them." He says it all with a grin.
He smiles and grins knowingly, and that's 4 to the other goblin.
All right, go ahead and would you ping the one that you attacked?
The right one there.
Okay, awesome. We'll fix this between next session, so the goblins are actually numbered instead of all being goblins.
Wow, 4 was enough to drop it? Nice. I feel like a boss. Well, that's
They all
4
seem-
now.
They all
I'm
seem
catching
hurt.
up.
They've all got cuts and scratches.
Nice.
Maybe one of them has a broken off arrow sticking out of its shoulder. They've all been through it, and they all have slashes from Baba Brun's keg knife, which is
Sweet.
basically a machete with another handle on the other end.
Baba, everyone loves Baba. You're a king among men, Baba.
Next in the order is Lokag, as Baba pants for breath and just nods.
Lokag is going to say to the goblin that I believe hit him with a surprise attack. He's just going to say, "That That hurt! And he's going to attack with his long sword, two-handed, for a 15 to hit.
That is a hit.
Excellent. Be 11 damage.
The already battered and wounded goblin succumbs. You can feel free to describe your actions or pass.
This one is just a very simple beheading. Just a nice little... he kind of has to bend down to do it a little.
Fair.
And then he is going to step up beside Helena and say, Rat Hat Girl, you are still alive. This is good. And he's going to punch the other goblin with his offhand attack.
Awesome. Let's see the roll.
Do for 13 to hit.
That's going to hit.
That'll do 1 damage.
Plus your strength, I believe, right?
Well, if it's an offhand attack, does he still
there
get
you go.
the...
No, you're right. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good call. Thanks for catching that. Yeah, you club the goblin across the side of the head. Pulls, its scimitar still sort of pointed up, even though its head is, rocked to the side for a moment. Goblin does not fall.
I knew I'd do well to stand next to you.
Yes. I am big. You are small.
Next in the order is Millie.
Right. I'll nod to this gentleman to open the door. And kind of just lunge out at the goblin right there in front of us now.
Okay.
11 to hit.
11 is going to miss, unfortunately.
Actually, I'm going to take it as disadvantage. 8 to hit.
Oh.
So even worse. Cool. I'll stand there, shield at the ready to deflect this goblin.
Okay. Next in the order is Helena. And this goblin's looking very uncertain of its position, its eyes sort of darting back and forth, that sneer starting to take on a whiny tone to it.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab ya.
You're not sure that it understands your language, but it definitely catches your intent. It tries to, throw itself against back, north, stumbling back, but it's not fast enough. That's a hit.
Ha! Even at my disadvantaged, hurt shoulder. Ha! 4 piercing.
You can feel free to describe or pass as you dispatch another goblin.
She gets fancy with it this time. She's done a lot of rat pelt work, and it's a fine craft, so she just sort of does this, nice little slash, sort of like Zorro, but it's an H, and kind of starts going, the slashes across the jugular, and that's what does it. Each one is a little 1 HP of scratch until she gets to that last one at the neck. It's very quick.
The goblin's eyes get wider and wider until they roll back in its head and it drops into the dust.
Ha! She spits at it.
Alright, anything else for Helena? Movement or anything like that?
Well, now that she's free of other goblins. No. Right where she's at's great.
Okay. Sort of through the glass in the door into the arms and armor, Mildred's place. You can see old Mildred sort of looking out, his eyes wide, watching everything that's happening. He sees you, and a puzzled look kind of crosses over his face, and tilts his head, and you can see him mouth, "Helena." He's,
Yeah, I always knew you were a coward. She points.
He kind of, his mouth opens, his brows beetling down as if he's offended, but it's, a ghost of the usual expression you've seen on his face, as worry and likely fear and adrenaline is competing for its attention. So again, he gets that offended look, but then as his eyes drift off past you, he sort of loses it as he's peering off into the dust. Let's see here.
The confidence having just killed a goblin, she slicks her dreaded hair back and is like, yeah, battle just isn't made for all of us.
That is true.
She means that not all of us are made for battle, but it's Helena.
Does Lokag or Millie respond to that?
Lokag is just so proud of Rat Hat Girl. He is just, yes, good form with the knees. You did good. Got him. You will die a glorious death in battle one day.
What, by your hand? She points the dagger back at him.
You all have strange
knows?
priorities.
To the south near Baba Brune and Cliff, let me go ahead and shift the screen down a little bit.
We need to get to Baba Brune.
Do they have any axes in there?
Make a good jazz song or something. Get into Baba Broom.
I could. I don't personally
We'll turn and look for an axe inside the arms and armor.
Two goblins nearby continue to attack furiously at Baba Brune. Almost, as if they know their chances of taking him down are running out as Cliff approaches. Baba Brune takes another solid slash across his prodigious belly, kind of cuts through that thick leather apron, even though the blade is rusty. There's several sort of scours and scores across it where they've been sort of chopping at him. It seems to be halfway decent leather armor, at least it was. Both slash, the second one misses. Again, this one sort of cuts into the leather apron, not through it. This one's moving a bit slow. Baba swings once more with his keg knife. And manages to finally finish one of the goblins off. He cuts its head clean from its shoulders. Ha! He shouts. Cliff, his eyes are red-rimmed. His arms are sort of, bathed in his own blood. He's got scratches and cuts all over his forearms. He's not looking good. We jump back into the order. What's X doing this round?
Fading back and trying to help Baba Brune, or you know what? I think I'm actually just going to try to break into this cart. I think I'm just going to try to see if there's more potions to be stolen.
Okay. So you're just going to try to muscle your way in? Just break the door in?
I'm going to see if I can pick the lock somehow, if there's anything available, or some of these knives might work, or
yeah, you can try to pop the lock with one of the fillet knife, the really thin blade.
Is Helena good at that?
I would.
I mean, you got a lockpicker right there.
Well, he doesn't. It's things are happening really, really fast, and that's
Sure.
pretty far. It's not Helena's turn, so. But X, yeah, you could definitely shout out to one of your allies if you wanted them to help, or you can go ahead and make that thieves' tool attempt using the knife that you have.
that's what I'll be doing.
Okay.
Oh, are we talking about the turns, or you want me to go ahead?
Oh,
and
okay,
take my turn?
I'm so sorry. Yeah, talking about the turns.
Yeah, we're just
All right, so Cliff, what are you doing this turn?
I am going to continue helping Baba.
Okay.
That's my plan. Looks like he's almost got this taken care of. I don't know if I only see the one goblin near me, so
Yeah, there's only one left that you can see.
so likely he'll go and whack it and try to join the others.
All right. How about Lokag?
Lokag is going to step into the arms and armor shop, and he's going to look for a great axe or a great sword. If he can't find anything better than the long sword he's got, he's probably won't take anything else. Or maybe if there's a pole arm in there or something. He's going to look for a bigger, better weapon.
Okay. All right. How about Millie?
I think Millie's still going to continue downward towards the south, getting to Baba Runes, and maybe the tavern feels like a more secure-able location.
Okay. And how about Helena?
So she locked eyes with that former friend, you know, the other merchant, and I think she wants to go in there, see why they aren't also defending their town square, seeing if she can get them to come out and fight alongside. Really, she just wants a meat shield, but shh.
Fodder, where are you?
Fair. Fair. All right. Well, you know what Baba's going to do? He's going to continue attacking, and the goblins are going to keep goblining. Secret DM stuff. All right, so top of the order is X.
All right, let's pop the lock on this cart. Let's find out what there is in here for us to borrow. So you want me to do a thieves' tool check or
Thieves' tool
dexterity something?
Okay.
Is the owner in that cart at the moment?
Yes.
Okay. 20.
Oh, I thought that person had fled.
No, she locked herself in the car.
Lock yourself in there. You could ask her, hey! Can you let me in?
Nah. It's a denied.
Well, she can hear it.
man.
The old,
She's like, oh no!
the old elven-looking woman just says, "I'll set this place on fire if you open that door. We'll both die, whoever you are."
Just pass me the potions. We're trying to save the city.
I think I recognize your voice.
Actually, X is much more menacing. He'll say,
Okay.
"Pass out the potions."
Lost gods, X, you terrified me. My healing potion was gone. I haven't finished any others.
We need more help.
Well, you could try Cyril's and Elneth's, you know, the west side of the square. She's indicating this building over here. But I don't have any.
All right. That'll be it for X. I think he'll just chill right there, kind of between the Baba situation and the rest of his party, and wait to see what happens next.
Okay. Any ready actions for any events?
I used my action to try to open the lock, so
That's
I got nothing.
All right. Next in the order is Cliff. Helping Baba Boone out, moving into flank. All right. +2
Yeah,
to hit.
flanking away. Oh yeah.
21 is definitely going to hit.
It's a 5. Does that finish him? Oh,
It
yeah.
does. Feel free to describe or pass.
He simply like stabs it and sort of pushes it out of the way because it's kind of getting in the eye line between him and Baba. He says, "There's more coming from the north. We need to go." And then he'll use the rest of his movement to go north.
Baba immediately sags the other handle of the keg knife hitting the ground as he sort of leans, using it almost like a cane for a moment. "Aye, Baba will catch up," he says, panting.
All right. It'll be safer there, too. I don't know how many more of these are coming, but we heard some armor. Yeah, he'll use the rest of his movement to get up behind the military equipment and be ready to go. That's it.
All right. Next in the order then is Lokag.
All right. So Lokag is going to move into the shop, and I'm just going to place it there. He's going to say, "Oh, smelly girl, you are in here. I knew you would be. Did you see any axes or big weapons in here?"
Those behind the counter. But
Is this a friend of yours, Millie? Asked Mildred.
no, this is. Don't you recognize this guy?
Seen him about?
"Ah, old man, I am Lokag Unalaki Galakanathi, fighter of the pits. I am here to acquire the biggest weapon you have."
Yes, I could see why you would. Well, if you're a friend of Millie's, well, we'll settle the booking after. If yes, take what you want. You could pay me as we can, and he just sort of looking you up and down. This massive figure. He's gesturing back toward. He's sort of pointing toward the counter, and behind it there's this large post. There's several. There's two great swords, kind of piercing this massive post. It seems to be holding up a lance. Just below that, there is, or leaning in against the corner behind, is a maul, a great two-handed hammer. There's also long swords and rapiers and such like that, spears. But the biggest would be the great swords, the lance, and the maul.
Okay. What does the maul? What weapon stat block does that use? Is that just Warhammer or?
Well, it should be just maul.
Oh, okay. I want to look at that. I don't think I've ever looked at that.
Yeah, it's a two-handed only hammer.
Oh my god.
It's nice. It's sort of a dark blued steel.
Yes.
There's brass inlays around both like the hammerhead, and the other side has a sharpened pick. So you could do piercing damage. You could do piercing or bludgeoning.
I will take the maul.
Yes, you will.
And then, let's see. I think Lokag is going to hang on to the longsword because it's not his. Are there any just... This might be way too much action economy for this turn. Are there any just sheaths hanging around?
Yeah, there are. There's...
Okay.
Yeah, there's a bin sort of full of different... it's got some scabbards for different blades. You have to kind of go...
He's just going to grab a scabbard that looks like it might fit the longsword. Click that over his shoulder so he's wearing it on his back. And then he's going to pick up the maul. He's going to pick up the maul. I mean, you know, he can't attack with it this way, but he's going to pick up the maul one-handed like a person is picking up a normal 9-pound hammer.
Right.
And he's just going to heft it onto his shoulder.
Mildred, his eyes sort of, or eyebrows climb up his forehead as you run over. You're still buckling the scabbard on, clipping it on one-handed. You grab the hammer and just casually hoist it up. He just watches you, ready to open the door when you're ready to go back outside. Just return when this is settled. If you live.
Oh,
If we live.
I do not think this is where I will die. Thank you, old man. Your weapons are of great make.
Yes, thank you. If you could make sure that some of us don't die, too. So you could pay me.
I've literally seen him, slice several goblins in half.
Why didn't you pick the great sword, then? Man seems confused.
Well, now I will crush their head into their shoulder blades.
I'm a little more worried about the mess he's gonna make now, but I suppose it's okay.
What does Millie do?
It makes for better story.
Sorry, Andrew.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
Yeah, what does Millie do as you all are talking?
Yeah. Look out the door and just kind of try and peer, I guess, northward, since that seems to be where my friends are hearing other noises.
Did seem to be, yeah, you all had heard some heavy plate armor sort of running into the square, sort of stopping somewhere, maybe around here. Around here.
All right, I'll just kind of peer up that way. I'm just looking for any other danger or trouble.
The dust is starting to thin out a little bit. You can make a perception check and see what you can make out through the dust in between the tent poles. And excellent.
There's a 17.
I think you see at least 4 goblins standing in that area. 2 of them seem to have long weapons. They seem to be maybe heavier set, or maybe they're wearing armor. The others, it's somewhat indistinct, but it looks like they're carrying crossbows, and it may have some sort of light armor as well. Seem like 4 better equipped goblins. The 2 in the 2 with crossbows seem to be they're all 4 moving forward slowly. They're sort of, the 2 with the crossbows are sort of looking and peering at the tents, kicking the dead as they move along and seeing who's alive. Yeah.
Just tell my closest friends here, there's 4 heavily armored ones, perhaps with stronger weapons, coming down this way from the north. They seem to be checking to make sure everyone's dead. And I'll...
Good. These small ones were too weak.
We need more healing.
Anything else for Millie? Yeah. Any other actions? Or
I'm going to move down and around. I'm starting to make towards the alchemist, but it seems like going straight across is going to be a death sentence.
Yeah, unless you take a turn to go into stealth.
All right, I'll come up next to Eeks.
Okay.
Hey, we need more healing. Where should we go?
You all can make an insight check. Investigation would also work. In fact, all of you can. That's been heard and considered by everybody. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Got them all out right there.
Wow. Yeah, I was not there.
Good work, Loka.
The only one with insight
Well
is the one with insight.
Nice. Well, it was where he spent most of his time. There was a blanket near Baba Brune's that seemed to be selling small charms and potions. You're pretty sure you remember seeing a red-banded, sort of painted clay flask, which is very likely a healing potion.
From where I just was? From next to him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh. Well, he might need that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's all for me.
All right, so next in the order is Helena.
All right, I'm going right up to that shop. I'm pounding on that door, and I'm saying, "Hey, why aren't you coming out here?"
He just, you can see visibly his shoulders rise and fall as he sighs. He opens the door. He says, "Get in here."
In here? No, it's not safe in here. We have to go out there. What do you want in here?
I'm not going out there. I'm not built for that. I only know how to sell weapons and armor. I don't know anything about how to use them.
Well, fine. Give me something better than this. She holds up the pitiful, rusty dagger.
Well, take your pick, and if we all survive this, you can pay me back as you can.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
So, what do you think suits me well?
Oh, no. Well, I will note it down, and you will owe me, he says.
Okay.
Suits you. One of the rapiers, a hammer, a bow.
Rapier, bow. I like that. I can stay far away. Yes. Yes, the bow.
Short bows, and he points. You can see a rack. It's sort of on both sides of the counter. There are not so much. There's like pegs on the wall, and there's there's medium crossbows and a heavy crossbow, as well as long bows and short bows.
I want a short bow.
Well, there's quivers as well. The arrows are very fine. Again, he looks off through the dust as he's sort of not really focusing on you. He's like just terrified and looking out the door and answering your questions.
Okay, well, how much time? How much for all of it?
But don't have a mind for numbers just yet. But I'll
come
remember
now,
what you have. I've got a note in my head.
How am I supposed to get you back? Here, you know what? She pulls out 10 gold pieces
He looks
and
shocked.
throws it at her.
He looks truly like the gold pelts him, and he's picks one up. He's angry look on his face, and he holds it up, and then he looks at it. He bites it for a to kind of sees if it's soft. He seems astounded. Like he just looks at you like he's never seen you. Like you just grew a third and fourth head. He's Helena. Where on earth?
Seems like you don't know everything, do you? Huh. She just takes the bow and the quiver and just walks out. Kind of looks around also too. I kind of want to catch up with the group of us.
Okay. Yeah, you can see them a lot better. That first wave of dust is gone. You can also see, what Millie mentioned. There seem to be 4 goblins over here in this direction. They're moving. Actually, they are now sort of in between these tents here. And again, they're moving slowly. They are surveying. They seem to know that you're there. This goblin sort of looked over, and they've got a little bit of cover in the booths that they're in. The 2 armed ones seem to be standing back. One of them is reaching down to its belt to pull something up. You hear a blast from what sounds like a broken brass horn. You hear parts of it rattle as it blares out through the settling dust. They shout out in Goblin. Of course, Cliff, you understand. Who else speaks Goblin? I don't think anybody else does.
Nope.
Okay.
Give a complicated relationship, me and Goblin. It's a love-hate thing.
Let's see here. Blisterfoot, who's alive? Blisterfoot blows the horn again. Who is alive? As there is no answer, you all can see them grouping up and beginning to move south.
Can I use a reaction to respond to them?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna say, they've moved to the north! He'll say in Goblin.
All right, make a deception check. See if you can get their
Yeah.
inflection and tones. They have a strange dialect.
Yeah, I'm terrible at deception. At 5.
Well, they might be
Nice.
equally terrible. Oof. Oh, that didn't come through, but it is a natural 1. So,
Nice! Yes!
at least from one of them.
Ah,
Right.
you fool some of the people some of the time.
Haha, fooled you.
It's hard to see the reaction from where they're at, whether they are fooled or not. They're not moving incredibly quickly. You hear Baba Brune rumbling towards somebody. You hear the door of the tavern open, and his rumbling voice muttering to someone inside. He does not appear to follow X. So for the moment, initiatives is a bit looser since nothing's immediately trying to kill you. That's why, this round I've been a little more open with how much conversation and such can happen, because the only goblins you're aware of are seem to be a lot more methodical than others, and making their way, seems, toward the cluster of Millie, Helena, and X. So, what's X gonna do this round?
We can't see him yet, though, right?
You could see him enough to see where they're at. Still, any attacks are going to be with disadvantage, but you can see them. Bring them back over, as there's still dust in the air. But again, so attacks on them are going to be with disadvantage. Ranged attacks, anyway.
I think that I'm just gonna hunker down and prepare an action if somebody gets close.
Okay.
Not going in on my own.
All right. How about Cliff?
I think Cliff is gonna move and probably set up and be ready to fire at these things when they get close enough.
Okay.
Seems like we've got ourselves all kind of hunkered down in the south, and there's probably a spot he can set up and fire when they get within, when he can see the whites of their eyes.
Okay. Perfect. And Lokag?
Lokag is going to start heading south. He's going to ask Baba Brune for one of his special brews. Or I guess if he doesn't make the health potions, he's probably going to yell out to whoever's down there if they're still by there. And if not, the next turn he'll make it all the way down and grab one.
All right, so perhaps as you dash your way that way, or I'm sorry, you didn't say that. But as you move your way in that direction, shouting out for potions, no one responds, at least from that direction. As you all have, now that the dust is starting to settle, you can see bloody heaps of rags and outstretched, tangled limbs. Very few of them are goblins, and most of those are the goblins you all dispatched to the north. Most of those still forms are townsfolk. All right, so how about Millie?
Yeah, so you said down here near the tavern was one of the places where there's several bottles, or just one bottle of healing that we
They had several potions.
noticed.
We saw at least one potion bottle down there. He only saw one. That doesn't mean there's not more, but he's only certain that there's one.
Yeah, so probably keep heading down that way, or depending on how much Lokek moves, keep going down and around towards the alchemist shop.
Okay. All right, how about Helena?
She, realizing that she's definitely in a survival situation, sort of observing these other heroic types around her, she too wishes to obtain some sort of potion or concoction that could help her should she be stabbed again. Think Baba Brune would be the way to go, she's wondering, based on her observations. I don't know. She kind of already went to the alchemy store and confused the lady.
Nothing says she can't go confuse the lady again.
Yes.
I mean, the townsfolk are plenty confused. It's like shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah. Why not add to the chaos? Back to her again.
Okay, awesome. All right, so next in the order is X.
Okay, if I wanted to collect some adventure supplies, 50-foot rope, a crowbar, a piece of chalk, where might that be in this square?
The Travel Outfitter. There's everything from saddles and saddle blankets and feed bags to lance rests for your saddle, new stirrups, backpacks, pouches, ropes, peatlands, hammers, chalk, small mirrors, adventuring gear, but also traveler's gear, some, fine to rough traveling clothes, depending on your, the weight of your purse. Adventurer's Depot.
Okay. I may head over there with the immediate threat of these guys approaching. I think I'm going to stand on the corner. I'll arm myself with the short bow, manticore tattoo, and I will ready an action that if anything comes within 10 feet, we'll take a shot. And then I'll say to the party, make them come here.
Awesome. All right, next in the order is Cliff. As you all can hear X say, make them come here.
Yes. He is definitely he's gonna wait as well, move into a position where I guess the woman has still stayed in her spot there. So
She is hunkered down and is hiding in that position, yes.
All right, she's probably all right. All right, then he's gonna go up and try to. I guess they can't see him either, right? It's all just cloudy for everybody. So he can sort of move half speed and try to keep quiet. And then
You can make a stealth check. Visibility is a lot higher. That cascade, that shower of dust, has mostly blown over. It's just you can see each other as long as nobody's hiding. It's just sort of blurry outlines, and so ranged attacks are at disadvantage.
Yeah. All right. Well, he's gonna get kind of behind here. It feels like maybe he should ready an action. So he's sort of using this to hide under. And he wants to pull out the pistol. And he's gonna try to get a line on one of the armored goblins and ready an action to attack them when they get close enough. I don't know if I need to use my action to hide and do that next round, or if I can ready.
Yeah, well, you can ready it or hide. Yeah, so it depends on.
I think I'll hide now. I think it's best. It's best for him to hide because then maybe he'll have a chance to get a little action next turn. So I'm gonna roll a stealth check and try to hide.
Okay.
So I get an advantage next turn. If
Nice.
He can't beat my 22.
22.
All right.
Awesome.
And he's got the pistol just trained on him, ready to fire.
Okay. Awesome. All right, next in the order then is Lokag.
All right, Lokag is gonna run down the sides of the building, and when he gets down here, if Baba Bruin's still outside, he's just gonna shout to him like, "Hey, wasn't there a guy selling potions down here?"
Baba's standing in the doorway. He turns. Yes. He points over. There's a blanket that's sort of disheveled. You can see small pouches and small carved objects and several potions have been scattered.
Excellent. So I guess that was a dash action. I don't really have any bonus. Oh, and last turn I didn't attack or take any damage, so I'm out of rage right now, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. I thought I was reading on that. I was like, wasn't there a rule? Okay. Good. And then, so I'm not raging currently, which is fine. And I guess that's my turn. I don't really have any bonus actions, so I'm good. I'll make it to the potions next turn.
Good to see you still standing, says Baba, shouting too loudly as always.
Same to you, old friend.
He turns, puts himself in the doorway, has his keg knife kind of held in both hands, just sort of guarding his door. And as you kind of look in, you can see that there's several townsfolk that are packed in. All right, next in the order then is Lily.
All right. Seeing Lokeg go down south to there, I'm gonna just move and dash across the southern expanse.
Nice.
35.
All the doors you can see
Get
are
down
shut.
there.
All the windows shuttered tight. Those townsfolk lucky enough to get in their doors. You haven't checked the whole square. So far, you've seen a lot of smart or lucky people. You can see through the thinning dust. The mortar and pestle, painted on the swinging sign above the alchemist's shop. A beacon in this dusty, sort of battle-torn square. Alright, so how about Helena?
Well, she wanted to go get some potions.
Mhm.
That was. She was on the left side of town, the west side of town, or
Yeah.
the square.
Yeah, here we are.
And she bursts in the room, and I'm back. I need health potions.
That's a lot of movement.
Oh, I thought our turns were not in battle, so my apologies.
Oh yeah, just in terms of the role play, just a little bit looser, So yeah, I still need to kind of keep with movement limitations and stuff.
Where was I?
Sorry,
Here?
I wasn't so clear.
Well, I don't really want to spend a turn just moving halfway there.
Mm-hmm. Looks like 60 feet would be here. I guess you
Could also come down south.
Yeah, I mean, I guess knowing that this is a shorter time frame, then I guess I would do that. I would go down south.
Yeah, that would get you down to it, and you could use an object interaction and snatch up whatever you see.
That sounds good.
Alright, yeah, so you see several potions. You see 2 red-banded healing potions. You see one that is has a green band that you think is like an antitoxin. One that has a pink band, and one that has a gray band painted on it.
Imagine the pink would be health. What's the gray one?
The gray one might be invisibility or like gaseous form or something like that. Pink is likely to be to affect your mind or your mood somehow, and the red is likely to be the healing potion.
Oh, I thought you said there was a green one.
There was, and that's likely to be an antitoxin.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely interested in the health potion. Maybe that gray one.
Okay, yeah, you could grab a couple of them up as your object interaction. Having dash and stuff, you don't have time to drink any of them just yet.
Nah, I just want to have them.
Does Helena say anything?
How much do you want this in this ridiculous time of chaos?
You don't see anybody around that owns them.
Kind of looks around.
The streets are pretty empty except for still forms of goblin victims.
Well, it's Helena's lucky day. Don't mind if I do. She takes them. Puts them in
on the table. Blue one, a green one, a yellow one.
Puts them in her little. She puts them in her little pack. So how many are there?
Which ones? You just got 2, right? A healing potion, and what was the other one?
Can I take? How many can I grab?
Just two. One, you got two
Okay.
hands.
The healing and the gray one.
Okay. Yeah, so the gray could be like a mist form, it could be invisibility. Usually has something to do with, gray is usually like an obfuscating or hiding. So it usually has something to do with those things.
Okay.
All right.
She's super making out today. This is great. She loves chaos.
One of the armored goblins does a few more blasts of the broken horn. The other shouts again in Goblin. Any living, Blisterfoot, all dead. No goblins answer. In a sort of cracked, broken, almost disdainful common, Goblin spits out the words. Some few of you strong. Some few. There be many more of us. You take a rest. There be more soon. Got my throat there. Another series of blasts, and those 4 goblins begin to withdraw. Their eyes, those of you who are close enough to see them, their heads swinging back and forth. You can make insight checks as well. As they weave back in between booths. Having done perhaps the simplest of arithmetic, and don't like their chances. Their taunts are... You can hear the fearful notes in their voices, or in the voice, like that hesitance, and and it sort of covering it up with bravado and taunting. But those taunts are also true. That there are more of those goblins, and there very likely will be more soon, unless you all chase them down. They retreat for the moment, leaving you in the square. So, do you all chase them as they withdraw? Do you all let them go? You all can hear them, and you can speak and shout to each other. For this very moment...
Perhaps that's an answer.
Go ahead.
For next week. I definitely want to chase him and shoot him, but...
All right.
Don't know about you.
So the scene itself, the tents are broken, and the poles are broken, tents are torn, the blankets and rugs laid out are kicked over, they are covered in bright red blood of humanoids, and this strangely mottled grayish blood that smells like soured milk from the goblins. This is not a normal thing for goblins. But neither is them banding together and attacking in such large numbers. All things considered, the stone, the sudden onslaught, there must be some power backing these goblins, binding them together and forcing them out into the street. Though these goblins seemed gleeful. They didn't necessarily seem afraid until you all made some of them afraid, just before those died. So yeah, good suggestion. I think we'll maybe start wrapping up here a bit. Yeah, because if you all decide to chase them, you definitely can do that. That would be another scene, and we would definitely stop right here. If you all want to sort of take this break, then we can keep going and role play, and you all can kind of make some decisions.
I'm also down with the break if y'all want to. There's a lot going on. Might be safe for us to kind of collect ourselves, so I'm down with staying too.
DL, first thoughts?
Yeah,
go ahead, Bri. No, you're good.
Well, I think once Lokag gets a health potion in him, then he'll be down to either chase them or just he's interested in who's still alive and how the battle went for everyone else.
All right. DL, what about you? First thoughts: chase or rest, or respite.
Do we have the impression that letting them go is going to result in them bringing more? I have the feeling that more are coming no matter what. Like,
That-
it doesn't matter if we chase these down or
Right.
not, there's just more coming.
It would be an opportunity to take these particular goblins down, but yeah, at the moment it seems like there will just be more to replace them. You don't know if they'll all be armored or if the rest of them will be similarly ill-equipped as these.
I think X's instincts are to protect everybody that he can. So try to round up what living people are left from the square and try to mount some kind of defense against the next wave. I think that'd be my instincts, is not to chase, but to, hunker down and gather up some more supplies and wait for the next wave. That's my thoughts.
Okay. Pon, how about you? What are your thoughts?
Now that she's gotten these free potions, I think she's much more inclined to just scope around the square and see if she can find more stuff. She definitely doesn't want to go chasing after more goblins, but I think if the big brutes go after them, she's got a new bow now, so, she might see what sort of spoils she can gain from that sort of adventure.
The world is just opening up for Helena, isn't it?
Oh yeah, man, this is the highest time of her life.
All right, J Pink, how about you? What are your thoughts?
The world is your oyster. Yeah, I don't think Millie has any interest in chasing them, especially given she has no combat experience at all before today.
That makes sense, yeah. All right. So then, as you all, as the goblins slip back up the northern road, sort of disappearing around the bend, you expect that you will likely see these goblins, these same ones again, during whatever next wave might be coming. But it seems like you have some time to rest, perhaps see what other people are still alive and help them, maybe even mount some sort of defense aside from your own skill and desperate measures. But for the moment, as the dust thins from the air, and the sound, of course, in the square has died down from all of the combat, you can hear now that all over the city there's the clash of arms, the shouting of townsfolk being attacked or kidnapped, and occasionally you'll hear clusters of goblins shouting, "Meat for the masters!" And as the dust thins, you can now see what it is that's, you can see this stone now again resting, sort of jutting up out from between, amidst the great wall on top of the hill. It definitely looks like a mountain that was plucked up and dropped here. And even through the dust, you can see the strange, like almost traceries carved along it of walkways or balconies, or it's hard to tell more without getting closer to it, if you can credit such a thought. But for now, you all at least have saved the square somewhat, have saved some villagers in it, and might have yourself a place to ride out the storm. There's certainly some people still alive that could be pretty instrumental in any sort of defense effort that you all could mount, or that you all might be brought into when you find other survivors. Because who knows, there might be captains of the city watch alive, or nobles who are used to having people follow them. But for the moment, there's just you. And I think we're going to find out. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, we will, come to a pause as time slows to an imperceptible crawl for your characters. We can kind of zoom out with our mind's eye and look down at this city, sweeping down a hill. This wave of dust sort of hitting the edges, breaking on the outer walls. This massive stone, almost, at a slight angle, crushed down into the earth. Massive rubble all around it, and the streets teeming with goblins. So fun session, gang.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah. Some nice numbers.
We lived.
Y'all did it. You lived. You
Yeah.
saved the square, at least for now. And
We did
hopefully,
roll
yeah.
pretty good.
There were some good
high
rolls,
rollers.
and I did not. The dice are definitely telling a story tonight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
We took a lot less damage than I expected, for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hell,
Speak for yourself.
Well,
Yeah, you halved most of it.
true.
The collective we.
Man, that was fun. I loved seeing what you all did and your descriptions, and Helena scampering underneath the carriages, and Cliff sort of popping up here and there, and you know, the Huckleberry coming in, helping out, moving on.
it was kind of the Huckleberry. That's a good word.
Millie
Describe.
starting the gear train rolling, slipping in, and
Yeah.
yeah, of course, X and Locag just moving around, making it happen, chopping folks down. Heck yeah, a lot of combat heavy session, and they won't always be like that. There will be more sort of back and forth, and of course, we'll definitely have sessions that are non-combat. That'll be exciting in other ways, interesting and fascinating, and perhaps terrifying. But let's hear a little bit from you all and see if anything stood out from the session. Any, or questions or anything for each other's characters about certain events or anything like that. So, Bri, any thoughts? Any questions for anybody?
No questions. I really enjoyed the Helena interacting with the other shopkeepers and like calling that guy a coward. I was like, that was really awesome. Locag was pointing at his rat hat the whole time he was looking at the gold. He was just smiling and pointing at the hat like, I bought these. This is where she gets her money.
Mildred will be fascinated to hear that story in a future session. I think that'll be a fun moment for us to role play through. Heck yeah. How about you, DL? Any thoughts, questions, highlights?
Oh, it went a lot better than I thought. We were taking goblins down left and right, and I think stuck more or less together as a group. So we, I liked it. What'd you all think of the sort of gather your thoughts part of the round? Did we like that? Do we want to continue with it? I'm interested to know what the group thought.
I like it. I think it helps to kind of inform everyone. Like, it gives a little gray area between turns, where you can sort of go, all right, you're going to give me that on your turn so I can do this later. It helps to have a little precognition. We could be a little quicker maybe with it so that we're like, it's like a 15 seconds.
I think
each
we
of us.
will as we use it.
Yeah, like we don't have to go into the rules or all that. Just like, this is kind of what I feel like doing, and kind of move through, and then get rules heavy as we actually take turn.
Yeah, I stumbled on it a couple of times there. So yeah, getting used to the practice.
I like it. Cool. Yeah, can really speed things up. I enjoyed in general. Everyone felt like you really you took advantage of the rules. You understand like how to kind of the tactics. It really felt like the whole team was using the tactics really well. I really appreciate that.
Heck yeah. Just finishing that check-in on like the mid-combat top of the order check-in. Big Bride, did that work for you?
Yeah, worked great for me.
Cool. Jay Fink?
Yeah, I think, as we said, we'll get faster at it as we get used to it. So there's a few times where it felt like I was like, are we in turn order, or are we in the initiative plan? I don't know.
Like I said, I got a little fuzzy there with that one. So
it'll take some time.
New practice, yeah. How about you, Pon? Does that work for you?
Hot take. I don't like it.
Oh, okay. How come?
I don't like it. I feel like it ruins the surprise and the suspense. I like thinking on my feet. Things can change when enemies, interfere. And then it's like, well, now what, And I don't know. I think mostly for the lack of suspense. It feels redundant to me. I think it's the storyteller in me. I'm not. But if everyone else is into it, I can be a good team player. But I can't help it. I don't dig it.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't know if this changes it, but you don't have to do the thing you talked about. You know, it can just be kind of an idea, and if you don't want to tell everybody what it is, you want to keep it a surprise, I think that's okay too.
Just lie.
Yeah.
Just say.
Always do the opposite.
I mean, yeah, you're the chaos person.
Don't
here,
give me
so-
those ideas. Let's do it.
I mean, that's the character.
Or do.
It works.
Heck yeah. Let's see. I'm not sure where I was. Jay Fink, any thoughts for you on the night? Anything stand out? Any questions or for anybody?
No, I enjoyed it. The combat, definitely seeing, like, it's always interesting when we bring in characters to a new game and see, like, how are these characters going to manage, and then the dice really tell the story tonight. Like, this character I'm playing's never held a blade. I think I got one hit in this whole battle.
Yeah. Fair. Yeah. While the ones who had more experience, their dice told the story of them, of that. You know, I think you're right. It's a good point. All right. We got a little mixed up there. Did I get everybody? Everybody. Pon, any thoughts on the night? I think I did not ask.
Yeah, I thought the dice reflected well Helena's story. I like both. I don't really care. She's an urchin, you know. Her name is subject to perception, I suppose.
Peasant, yo, peasant, do this.
She probably wouldn't respond well to that. You know, I think what I like exploring is, you know, this ranger character. She has learned a lot of her way through life from the rats. So, you know, hiding under the carts, kind of being incredibly opportunistic, and quickly scooping up all the morsels and bits of cheese after the fact is, I think, appropriate. And so it's that's been really fun for me. But I also have been very impressed with how well everybody's killing it at freaking level 1. I'm like, damn, we're gonna be great. I'm looking forward to seeing how we develop as characters. So yeah, I'm ready to leave this square, though. That's for sure. Ready for some adventure.
The square is, by the way, I wanted to comment. The square is nice. I mean, it's really kind of a fun terrain to manage. You know, you've got all these things to hide behind. It's colorful. There's just so much. I do like the map. I think it's fun. But yeah, I guess.
Dude, awesome. Thank you. I made it on Incarnate.
Another exciting map too. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So I think all the maps in this campaign I've made myself.
Yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, at least so far. It depends on. There's a couple of you all could throw me a curveball. There could be things that you pick up on or want to do that I haven't yet made a map for. So, yeah, we'll see. Hopefully that remains true though, even if that means I'm laying the track in front of you as the train's going along. But yeah, for the moment, everything I think that you all are going to do, I have a map for. It's not a challenge though.
Okay, so let's go to the underwater place that I mentioned earlier.
All right, let's see here. Well, so that I think concludes our session. I'm going to stay and hang out a little bit and sort of read through and respond to chat if anybody else, you viewers are going to hang out. Probably also look around on Twitch and see who else might be cool to raid out to, if we have enough numbers to sort of warrant that. And yeah. So, thank you so much for an awesome session. Everybody, thanks for coming and joining us and listening in and keeping the chat live. Thank you for follows, and thanks for your support. Everybody, whoever needs to bounce out can go ahead and bounce out. And that is our session. We'll see what happens next week in Goblinstone Session 3. As you all will now have the sort of decision of what to do with your time in all of this for the first time since everything kicked off. Not just reacting. I get to act on things a little bit. So heck yeah.
Awesome. Good times.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Perfect.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Everybody who's got to go.
Night all.
Good night. Thank you so much.
All you fans.
Find some.
Bye.
A little bit of music on. All right. I cannot type anymore.
Are we off?
Not just yet. I am checking a couple of channels that I follow, see if I can find somebody who's live right now. But I'm not seeing.
If anybody has any suggestions, we could raid out to them.
Mm-hmm.
Some Dungeons and Dragons. I see a few that none of them were that I'm friends with, but there's definitely some Dungeons and Dragons channels. We got Blackwater D&D.
Stargana is live. Looks like. Oh well, they're not playing D&D.
Let's see here. Swole Initiative Network. They're playing some D&D. Looks like Gnome Ann is playing some D&D. I actually follow her, so.
Yeah, go to her.
Has been a minute. How do I raid out?
I can got you.
I could put it in Discord if you want the.
Raid has been created.
Oh, sweet.
Everyone say hi in the next raid thing.
I.
All right. Now, let's see here. Yeah, now I'm going to go ahead and we are going to call it cut for the evening. Thanks so much for joining us once again. We'll see you all next week. Take good care of yourselves, and thank you so much. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
See y'all later.
Bye.